With 101 victories and a trip to the postseason, the Yankees have had one hell of a regular season. And A.J. Burnett will try to keep it going tonight against the Kansas City Royals. It's a hot ticket at the stadium. Only 2 more regular season games, but you get to see it right here on Yes. As tonight, the Yes Network presents New York Yankees baseball. It's the New York Yankees against the Kansas City Royals in the middle game of a 3-game set from Yankee Stadium in the Bronx, New York. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Yankees baseball along with John Flaherty. I'm Michael Kay. Win number 101 was an impressive one for the Yankees. They won 8-2. Now, it was a close game until Robinson Cano came up in the 7th inning, and a guy who's had a very good season made it even better.
Well, Robinson Cano has had a solid season all the way around, but he has done a better job with runners in scoring position in the second half of the year. Gets a fastball up, middle of the zone, home run number 25, a grand slam, now has 84 RBIs. You think about that slow first half with runners in scoring position, still having an outstanding year.
Now, the Yankees are hitting home runs in bunches. In fact, 5 Yankees have 25 or more home runs. That ties a franchise record. Now, there could be another one as well because Johnny Damon is at 24 right now. Now, tonight's game against the Kansas City Royals features A.J. Burnett. A.J. Burnett could be the key to the Yankees' postseason chances. His last couple of starts, though, he's done very well.
Well, he has. He went out to the West Coast, had a nice ball game against the Mariners, and then followed it up his last outing, a quality performance against the Angels in Los Angeles. So he's on a good run right now, 2 in a row, had a good curveball in that ball game, a power fastball. He right now is a question mark for the Yankees. You have to see another good start against the Kansas City Royals tonight, and then it looks like he's going to pitch the last regular season game in Tampa.
Let's take a look at the New York Lottery pitching matchup. Going for the Royals, Anthony LaRue, 0-1, 3.86. A.J. Burnett for the Yankees, 12-9 with a 4.19 ERA. Yesterday, a really nice moment. Ramiro Pena hit his first major league home run. When he got to the dugout, the guys decided it was time for a freeze-out. And then they said it's time for some love. He was Catwoman. I wonder who the next superhero is going to be next on Yes. for their game against the Kansas City Royals, and they are going to honor America by listening to our national anthem. Well, Yankee Stadium still buzzing from a surprise ceremony before the game. They didn't tell the fans, they didn't tell the players that were involved, but the Yankees honored 3 Yankees that had milestones achieved during the season. Melky Cabrera was honored for the cycle that he had in Chicago against the White Sox, and he was pumped up. He received a ring, and Derek Jeter for his record-breaking hit, becoming the Yankees hit king, and they gave him that sign that hung over the entrance to the Yankee locker. And then Mariano Rivera was honored for his 500th save, a beautiful ring, the bench from the old Yankee bullpen. Yankees brought out Yogi Berra and Dave Winfield and Bernie Williams and Tino Martinez and Tim Raines, and the entire team crowded around their teammates. Andy Pettitte spoke. Just a really nice moment here at Yankee Stadium, and certainly for Derek and for Mariano, 2 of the original 4, and both Andy Pettitte and Jorge Posada spoke to honor their teammates. And John, I'll tell you what, that had a real good family feel to it, and I think it's one of the reasons the Yankees are looked at as a close team this year.
Well, definitely. I liked Andy Pettitte coming out there saying a few words. Jorge Posada added some thoughts of his own. And you know what, Michael? Teammates don't talk to each other like that, especially a public forum out on the field in front of the fans. Great moment, great team moment.
And now there's a game to be won. The Yankees won 101 of them so far. On the mound is A.J. Burnett, looking to turn in his 3rd straight strong start. Let's take a look at the Royals lineup that he is going to face. Mitch Myers in left field. He's going to lead off. Unieski Betancourt, the shortstop, will bat second. Batting third and playing first base, Billy Butler. He's been red hot of late. He has 51 doubles on the season. Mike Jacobs, the DH, will clean up. Batting fifth and playing second base, Alberto Callaspo. Mark Tiens in right field. He's going to bat sixth. Batting seventh and catching, John Buck. Alex Gordon at third base will hit 8th, and batting 9th and playing center field is Josh Anderson.
Well, that Kansas City Royal lineup is going to go to work against A.J. Burnett. It'll be his 32nd start, 12-9, 4.19. We'll take a look at our Jeep pitcher scatter report. The Yankees need to see it one more time. He's had 2 quality starts back-to-back. They want to see another one tonight. And home cooking, thrown pretty well at home lately, 5-2 with a 3.11 over his last 9 starts at Yankee Stadium. And he's looking for win number 100 for his career tonight. We'll see if he can come up with it.
A.J. Burnett is ready. Mitch Myers ready. Let's do it here in the Bronx. And the first pitch is outside, 1-0, and we are underway. Meyer 9 hits in his last 29 at-bats, hitting .253. And the pitch is a strike. 1-1. A.J. Burnett was with his dad yesterday, who underwent triple bypass surgery. So A.J. was supposed to start yesterday. They flipped him to today as Dad Bill is doing fine after the surgery. A.J. out on the mound. Hot shot to shortstop. On a tough hop, Derek Jeter fields, and there's one away. Let's take a look at the Yankees defense, brought to you by Mercedes-Benz. In the outfield, Johnny Damon's in left, Brett Gardner in center, and Nick Swisher over in right. Infield, A-Rod, Jeter, Pena, and Teixeira. That's third to first as Cano gets the night off. Molina behind the plate, and A.J. Burnett is on the mound.
I mentioned A.J.'s last 2 outings, 7 innings, 1 earned run against Seattle, 5 2/3 against L.A., 2 earned runs, so coming off 2 quality starts. The Yankees would love to see another good ball game tonight, and he's going to pitch the last game of the year in Tampa, and you would have to imagine that would be a abbreviated start, maybe 3, 4, 5 innings. Looking forward to his next start will be a playoff start.
Grounded. Just foul outside of third. Now everybody, when Joe Girardi told everybody the rotation for the weekend, people started to read into it. It's CC on Friday, Andy Pettit on Saturday, and A.J. Burnett on Sunday. Well, that's the way they're going to line up for the playoffs. Well, Joe said absolutely not. That does not mean that. He hasn't given his playoff rotation yet. That the Yankees take the longer series of the 3 days off. Game 2 is Friday, so A.J. Burnett could pitch Sunday and still pitch Friday on normal rest.
Yeah, he would be on his regular turn. We'll see how they go. They still don't know who they're going to play. The Twins and Tigers battling it out. They might battle it out right to that final day. We'll see how it goes, but Joe Girardi and his staff have not made a decision yet.
And there's a strike, and if they have, they're not telling anybody.
Well, if AJ pitches that Sunday, he'll be on his regular rest to go game 2, which would be that Friday. Andy Pettit would have, obviously, an extended stay in between. You wouldn't want that to happen for a veteran lefty who likes his routine.
Swung on and missed, and Betancourt down on strikes. Let's look at the game time weather conditions presented by our good friends at Bigelow Tea. 63 degrees, humidity 54%. Wind is actually 16 miles per hour, and the forecast is for breezy and cool. Kind of feeling like October in the air.
Well, it certainly is. You see the grip on that power curveball from A.J. Burnett. Perfect location down and away. Betancourt just waving at it. Early indications, A.J. looks like he has pretty good stuff.
And Billy Butler takes a strike.
That's the pitch you want to see from A.J. Burnett. The fastball to a right-handed batter on the outside corner. That fastball, the first one for strike one, was true through the outside half. That's a good sign for A.J.
And the 0-1. Grounded foul. IOTV offers you incredible HD picture and sound. HD is free with IOTV, the official HD service provider of Yankees baseball on Yes. A.J. Burnett's been a much better pitcher at night. A 3.23 ERA at night. In the day, a 5.61 ERA. 5 starts lifetime against Kansas City. 2-2, 3.41 for Burnett. Breaking ball actually had Billy Butler flinching in the count 1-2.
It was a backup breaking ball. It actually started on the inner half and did not break away. It had Butler fooled, but it missed off the inside corner. Home plate Jerry Lane does not give the call. You see Molina setting up away. It backs up inside. Not a quality pitch.
1-2 is tapped out to second. Ramiro Pena, and that's going to do it. A 1-2-3 inning for A.J. Burnett, and he did it throwing 13 pitches. So the Royals nothing, and the New York Yankees coming to bat. Your incredible HD picture and sound. HD is free with IOTV. LaRue is on the mound, sporting some funky sideburns, and he's going to face this Yankee lineup. Yankees come in at a 101 record and 56 losses. Derek Jeter, the captain, the shortstop, leads off. Batting second and playing left field, Johnny Damon. Mark Teixeira is at first, Hill at third. Cleaning up and playing third is Alex Rodriguez. Hideki Matsui, the DH, will bat fifth. Batting sixth and playing right field, Nick Swisher. Brett Gardner's in center field, who'll bat seventh. Batting eighth and catching, Jose Molina. And Ramiro Pena, big night for him last night. He's at second base, he'll bat ninth. His first big league home run last night.
Well, the Yankees are going to face 26-year-old right-hander Anthony LaRue. It'll be his second start, 0-1 at 3.86. His first start was against the Boston Red Sox. Take a look at our Jeep pitcher scouting report. He's going to get a September look. The Royals struggling this year, going to audition some pitchers. He's going to get a chance. And he dominated in Double-A, 8-1 with a 2.01 ERA over his final 11 starts. And he has a Braves influence. Came up through the Braves minor league system, made it to the big leagues, had Tommy John surgery in 07, was released, and the Royals giving him another chance.
Derek Jeter will lead off, hitting .383 in the first inning. And he takes the pitch from LaRue, 1-0. One start in the majors this season for LaRue, 4 2/3 innings, 7 hits, 4 runs against Boston on September 24th. He took the loss in that game. Righties were 0 for 8 against LaRue in that game. Lefties were 7 for 13 with a home run.
Yeah, you ask around about his stuff. They say good sinker. Misses with a sinker there. A decent changeup and an average slider. They like the way he works fast. We're seeing that already. Behind in the count 3-0, but working very quickly.
And he deals a strike to Derek Jeter.
Like a pretty good athlete. Actually had a scholarship offer to play football at Penn State. Turned it down after he got drafted by the Braves.
Grounded to third. And Gordon bobbles and Jeter reaches. That should be an error. And it is.
Well, the Royals have had a tough year defensively. It's going to be an error on the third baseman, Gordon. He comes in. It's pretty much a routine play. Just can't get the handle on the throw with the exchange. Derek Jeter is going to reach base on an error.
Let's take a look at the Royals defense, brought to you by Mercedes-Benz. In the outfield, it's Meyer, Anderson, and Tien left to right. Gordon, Betancourt, Callaspo, and Butler third to first. Buck behind the plate. And LaRue is on the mound. And there's a strike to Johnny Damon. Damon did not play last night. Good numbers against Kansas City. Started his career with the Royals. And if you look at some of the players that the Royals had that they let go, Jermaine Dye was a Royal, and Johnny Damon, pretty good outfield right there. And it's just hard for this team when those guys are going to go to free agency to keep them. High fly ball to right center. Anderson will put it away for the first out. Johnny now 2 for his last 20. Take a look at the umpires. Jerry Lane's behind the plate. Tom Hallion's at first. Tony Randazzo at second. And Chris Guccione is over at third. There's Mark Teixeira.
Tough time of the year for the New York Yankees. You clinch a division, you have the best record, you're going to have home field all the way through the playoffs. And you got 5 more games left. Good changeup right there for a strike. You got to keep that intensity. If you're a guy like Mark Teixeira, keep your at-bats, grind them out. You want to keep that good groove going into the postseason. You really got to stay focused mentally during these last 5 ball games.
Grounded to second. They could turn 2 on there. So there's 1 on to first. It's a 4-6-3 inning-ending double play. In the first inning, no runs, no hits, 1 error, and nobody left on base. We played 1. There's no score here at the stadium. Kansas City tomorrow at 7:05. That's on Yes. Thursday's an off day. Yankees will fly to St. Pete. Friday night at 7:38 on Yes. Saturday night at 7:08 on Yes. And then Sunday, the 162nd game of the season. 1:38 start against the Rays in Tampa. And really in St. Pete, that game will be on Yes. So the Yankees with 101 victories. They go to the top of the second inning here with no score. And Mike Jacobs will lead off against A.J. Burnett. Yankees have a 6-game winning streak in their starters during the 6-game winning streak, pitching to a 2.33 ERA. And a strike. Jacobs has some power, but he strikes out an awful lot. He's 4 for his last 21, hitting .227.
Well, offensively, the Royals have struggled all year. They're very aggressive. They swing early in the count. If you're a starting pitcher trying to attack them, you make quality pitches early in the count, you're going to get some quick outs and keep that pitch count down. Should be a good matchup for A.J. Burnett.
And there's a strikeout of Jacobs.
2 strikeouts for A.J. and both of them on the power curveball. Looks like he's going to have this pitch. It's got good break, but more importantly, lots of location. Down and in. Perfect pitch. Jacob swings right over the top.
John, let's look at the splits for a moment. Against right-handers hit .273 against A.J. Burnett. Lefties hit .221. Why? Why is he better against lefties? Usually it's the other way. Righties are good against righties.
You know what? I keep saying it every time I work a game where A.J. pitches, how the fastball to this part of the plate is so big for him. And against righties, he kind of tries to throw it on the outside half, and it comes back to the middle. The righties get a good look at it. They get a good pass. Sometimes pitchers have an easier time throwing a fastball into a lefty because you actually have a visual. You know, he stands up to the plate, and you actually have a spot where you can throw it to, as opposed to the outer half where there's really nothing to throw to. A.J. has an easier time with lefties getting the fastball inside.
Well, wouldn't the righty standing in the righty batter's box have something to aim at?
No, he would be going to the other side. If a righty was on, obviously, the right-handed side, it's kind of you're going to the away corner to the hitter. And A.J. obviously has a tougher time throwing to this side when there's a right-handed batter up there.
The 1-2. Man, let me ask you this. Why doesn't he bust righty batters with fastballs inside?
It's not his comfortable side. He tries to go in there and the ball runs more. Right. You know, where he'll run it up and in. He can't keep a four-seamer straight for a strike. So he tries to go to the outer half and keep that four-seamer straight, and it rides to the middle. The breaking ball is always going to be good against the right-handers, but it's the fastball that's been getting beat up all year, and he's done a better job the last 2 starts with the fastball away to righties.
And the count 3-2. On deck is Tien. Bench coach John Gibbons behind him. Former Blue Jay manager. And a walk issued to Alberto Callaspo. Here's Mark Tien. See what you're reading there on the right-hand corner? Every single Yankee postseason game will have pre- and post-game coverage right here on Yes. Unfortunately, we can't do the games, but we can cover it. And we'll be around before the game and after the game every single time there's a game on Yes. Count 0-1 on Mark Tien, who's 2 for his last 17.
Hit his 12th home run in last night's ball game. A guy who's a great athlete, can play all over, has found himself in right field.
There's a fastball strike.
Good life on the fastball from A.J. tonight. A good sinking fastball there, 94 miles an hour with some good movement. You saw Tien kind of flinch a little bit. pay attention to the hitters and how they react. He's been late on a first pitch fastball and did not get a good look at the second one. See if they go 3 in a row.
The Royals have had a decent month of September. They're actually 14-11. Count 1-2. Now 14-12 after last night's loss.
Talking to some people around the Royals too, they were kind of excited that they're finishing the year up on this road trip. I mean, they went up to Boston, Trey Hillman, the manager, and obviously playing a good team, the Boston Red Sox, and then come to Yankee Stadium, and then they finish in Minnesota, closing down the Metrodome. But they should have good crowds every stop along the way. So if you're a struggling ball club, and I've been on plenty of struggling ball clubs where you really don't have a whole lot to play for, you want some energy in the stadiums that you're going to, and they're definitely going to get it on this final trip.
Ironically, or incredibly, this is the Royals' first look at the new Yankee Stadium. Here it is, the end of September. And Trey Hillman, who spent 13 years in the Yankee minor league organization, he and his coaches got here today about 11 or 12 o'clock, and they toured the ballpark, and they took pictures in the Great Hall and the museum, and Trey said he was just blown away by the facility. He said just a gorgeous, gorgeous place. So they wanted to appreciate what this was all about. So they got here early. Strike 3. Teeing down looking. Third strikeout for Burnett.
AJ did a good job setting up the curveball for strike 3. He threw 3 fastballs in a row, missed with a curveball, and then came with the back door. Nice catch by Jose Molina, giving Jerry Lane, the home plate umpire, a good look for strike 3. See, it's going to clip that outside corner. Good call.
Tigers take a 1-0 lead over the Twins. The Twins won the first game of the day-night doubleheader 3-2 in 10 innings. Verlander on the mound against Wenson. John Buck has an 8-game hitting streak. During that time, he's 12 for 32, so he's finishing strong. Strike on the outside corner.
We're going to take a look at our hitter scouting report on John Buck, brought to you by the Fox News Channel. He's kind of taken a back seat. Miguel Olivo has had a big year, had a big offensive year, so John Buck now a backup player. But he hits when it counts, 349 with runners in scoring position. And you would think it'd be a tough draw against A.J. Burnett, but he's 3 for 9 with 2 home runs against A.J. in his career.
Slow roller toward short. Jeter charges, fires to first, got him. And that'll do it. So the walk does not hurt A.J. Burnett or the Yankees. No runs, no hits, no errors, and 1 man left. We go to the bottom of the second. There's no score on yes. cells. For thousands, a marrow transplant from an unrelated donor is their best or only hope for a cure. These patients depend on the Be the Match registry to find a match and a second chance at life. Interested individuals can also join online at bethematch.org. We go to the bottom of the second inning, and Alex Rodriguez digs in. Since August 1st, Rodriguez is hitting .331 with a .425 on-base percentage, and the first pitch is a strike. During the ceremony, right before the game, Alex Rodriguez was on the top step of the dugout. It was like he was a kid taking it all in. He seemed like he was so into it. Maybe he's thinking, will I get one of these ceremonies when I break the all-time home run record if he does do that? And Alex was the guy who orchestrated the little freeze-out of Ramiro Pena yesterday, which was kind of a neat moment for the team. He said, everybody sit down, sit down.
I'll tell you what, that was the longest freeze-out that I had ever seen. I mean, they really sold it. Made Ramiro kind of sweat it out a little bit by the bat rack. I didn't realize Alex was the one who started it.
He was the ringleader. And we've got video proof of that, John. The 2-2. Strike three, Alex Rodriguez down looking.
Well, Anthony LaRue is working fast, and he's got a good changeup and a good sinker. Unusual for a right-handed batter, Alex Rodriguez, to see a changeup from a right-handed hitter. You can see it's got good action down and in, about 10 miles off of his fastball. Just locked Alex Rodriguez up.
That'll bring up Hideki Matsui. And there's a strike to Matsui. Matsui 6 hits in the last 19 at bats, hitting .280. 387 since September 5th. And LaRue keeps throwing strikes. Now here's the video proof we talked about. Alex is... Now, John, you've been in those dugouts. They're not going to do that to a kid they don't like, right? So they obviously feel an affection for Ramiro Pena.
Oh, definitely. I mean, he did such a great job early on. A great kid who just gets there early and works hard. Kind of like Cervelli. You know, those two guys, they contributed early, and they're kind of a little forgotten about here at the end of the year.
They say that Matsui did not hold up, and he is tagged out by Buck, and Matsui does not like that call.
But again, it's a changeup. I mean, the Yankee hitters sitting on that bench are going to pay attention. This kid's got a good changeup, good action down and away. We'll get the overhead look to see if Hideki went too far. It's borderline. Looked like he kept his bat head behind his hands. Third base umpire Chris Guccione makes the call. Looked like he held up to me. But getting back to Pena and Cervelli, I mean, those kids did such a great job early on, and now they're role players picking a spot here and there. But a great thrill, first major league home run.
Nick Swisher with a high pop-up. Callaspo will put it away for the final out of a 1-2-3 inning. So Anthony LaRue puts down the Yankees in order. He did it in 10 pitches. There's Pena. No freeze out tonight. We go to the third. Bios. This is big. Robinson Tejeda, 4-2, 3.41 against Jabba Chamberlain with a 4.72 ERA. Our coverage will begin at 6 with the BP show on Yes. 6:30 is the pregame show, and then 7:07, 7:08 first pitch. Alex Gordon takes the strike. On the Modell scoreboard, there's no score. Modell's the official sporting goods retailer of the New York Yankees. I was talking to Trey Hillman today about Alex Gordon. You know, he had the hip surgery, and he missed close to 80 games. And I said, well, why did he miss 80 games and Alex only missed 28? He said, because he had the full surgery. He said he had the whole blowout surgery. He said, there's no second surgery after this. He said, so it took a while. And I said, well, why'd you send him down to the minor leagues? Did he lose confidence? He said, because the basic agreement says you can only have 20 days of rehab. He said he needed more. He said, so we had to send him down to the minor leagues. Not that he wasn't a good player, but he just wasn't ready physically. So we sent him down for another month.
Well, disappointing year for him. You see the numbers, 220 with 4 home runs and 19 RBIs. Obviously, the hip operation lost a lot of time. It's kind of one of those years you try to finish up strong here the last week of the season. Look forward to getting in phenomenal shape coming into spring training and have a big bounce back year. The player the Royals have been talking about for years that they're going to build around. Sure looking forward to spring training next year.
Swing and a miss. 4th strikeout for A.J. Burnett.
A bunch of strikeouts on the curveball. Gordon's going to find the changeup and good action down and away. Nice finish the way A.J. Burnett is finishing towards home plate. Good balance. Outstanding movement. Really like the way A.J.'s finishing towards home plate tonight. Looks like he's under control mechanically.
Here's Josh Anderson. Burnett deals. And there's a strike. Yankees in at the corners. Anderson has some speed.
.22 stolen bases, only been thrown out 5 times, so Anderson can run. Joe Girardi, Dave Island, the pitching coach, have to be happy with what they're seeing early on. 3 quality pitches for AJ tonight. A good fastball, a little bit of movement, power curveball, and a couple of good changeups here in the 3rd.
Line drive, a base hit to right field off the bat of Anderson.
AJ threw a changeup away, tried to go back inside with a fastball, and you can see it just runs back to the middle of the plate. Kind of like the fastball we were talking about to right-handed hitters, where it starts inside, moves to the middle. Anderson jumps all over it. First base hit of the ball game for the Royals. Mentioned the 22 stolen bases will be a threat to run.
Anderson leads off first, held there by Teixeira. Good lead for Anderson. Snap throw. Talked to Trey Hillman, and Trey was in the Yankee organization for 13 years, and he actually managed Derek Jeter in 1992, so when he first started out. Had him leaning, but he just got back. And I asked Trey Hillman, I said, did you think he could be this good? Did you ever think he would come to this? See how he looked like he was going. And he goes, I'd be lying. He said, I can't say that. He said, I thought he'd be an okay, good player. He said, but to see this, he said, anybody who tells you that, he said, I don't believe that you could see that. There's a strike. Now here's the flip side, John. I love this. I interviewed Bobby Valentine today in Japan. And I said, what did you think of Jeter when you saw him as a youngster? He said, well, I was in the minors then. And I saw Jeter playing in the minors, and I asked Stump Merrill, what do you think of this kid? Stump Merrill, the former manager of the Yankees at that time, he was in the Yankee minor league system. And Stump Merrill told Bobby Valentine, he said, this kid is going to be one of the greatest players who ever lived. How about that? This was before Derek Jeter was Derek Jeter. That's what Stump Merrill had told Bobby Valentine.
I appreciate the honesty from Trey Hillman, because it's so tough to project how a kid in the minor leagues is going to fill out and what his career is going to be like.
Runner goes, snap throw to second. The throw not handled by Jeter. Anderson slid right into Jeter's glove, so a stolen base for Anderson.
We're going to get another look at this. Jose Molina can't do it any better. Anderson gets a decent jump, but Molina gets rid of it in great shape. And we'll see with the throw. It looked like it was right on the money. Derek just couldn't come up with it. Watch how fast Molina is getting rid of it. Accurate throw, runs up the line just a little bit. Get a great shot here of the glove of Derek Jeter. Looks like a play he probably should have made.
Swing and a miss. You were saying you appreciate Hillman's
I appreciate
honesty.
Trey Hillman's honesty, but you got to love Stump Merrill. I mean, a baseball lifer in the minor leagues all those years, gets a chance to manage at the big league level, and then sees Derek coming up after that. That's impressive. But you know what? Trey probably got to look at him when he was younger, and Stump got to look at him in AAA. Would that have been AAA?
Swung on and missed. I'm not quite certain how that lays out, John, but it is interesting because it wasn't Stump who told me that he thought that. Bobby Valentine had nothing to gain for saying that Stump Merrill said that.
Another look at that power curveball down and in. Boy, it's been a quality pitch all night, especially to the left-handed batters. AJ has a good feel for it. A lot of swings right over the top. You know, you get kids at that AAA level, they filled out a little bit, matured a little bit. It's a little easier to project maybe what's going to happen, but I don't think anybody could really be onto what Derek has done. Except Stump Merrill. That's impressive.
And you'd admit, John, this is probably the toughest sport to scout. You see kids playing college with aluminum bats, and you've got to project them with a wood bat. And it's hard to do. You know how they're going to fill out. I mean, I think this is the toughest of all the sports to project.
You know what? It's a great point. And my old college coach, John Castleberry, is now a scout for a major league team. And I've actually gone on the road with him a few times and watched some college players. We haven't gotten to Fordham yet to scout their club, but, you know, we've been to some other top programs. And, you know, he'll ask me what I think about a kid, and I honestly could not give an answer. Oh, he's got a good arm. You know, I don't know how he's going to fill out. And he said, you know what, that kid's going to be a star. And just you see them as a young player, you get the ability to project. But it's a tough job.
When you look at college football players, I mean, they're close to being NFL players. And there's not a change in rules, per se. I mean, the wood bat and the aluminum bat, I don't know how that's even allowed to go on. If I'm Major Leagues, I would buy wood bats for all the colleges.
Well, that's why the Cape Cod League, up in Cape Cod, they use the wooden bats. It gives the scouts a better evaluation of the offensive ability.
1-2, foul bat.
And Damon Oppenheimer, the scouting director for the Yankees, saw him on the Cape a bunch of times scouting kids, you know, and that's where they get, they actually say you separate the men from the boys in that Cape Cod League because you get the wooden bat in their hand, and you get a better indication of what they're going to be able to do and how their swing translates.
Molina wants to talk things over with A.J. Burnett. A.J. sporting 5 strikeouts so far, 2 outs into the 3rd inning.
He's got options here. He got Betancourt to chase a high fastball. He can go higher than higher, bounce a curveball.
Rounded to 3rd. Knocked down by Alex Rodriguez. He has no play. We'll see how they score that. It was a tough play. But if Alex plays it cleanly, he gets Betancourt.
Yeah, if Alex plays it cleanly, he's got plenty of arm strength going across the diamond, tries to back up and do the backhand. Once he bobbles it, he's not going to have a play. Betancourt runs too well, and they're going to score at a base hit.
That brings up Billy Butler. Billy has 51 doubles. And the Royals team record is Hal McRae's 54 in 1977. So 3 away from that. Got 5 games to play. There's a strike. Good fastball, 95 miles an hour.
Butler's really had a good year, and we've seen him the last couple of years, and he's figured it out this year. I mean, the batting average over 300, 21 home runs. You mentioned the doubles. Kind of unusual. He has a lot of movement in his setup. A big leg kick with his left leg. A lot of things have to be on time, but he's having a big year with it. Watch that front leg.
Ryan Roberts leads the American League in doubles with 55. Then it's Butler and Cano with Pedroia and Lynn, 4th and 5th.
Big key when you have a big leg kick like this, get it done early and slow.
Looped into right field. It is going to dunk in for a base hit in front of Nick Swisher. Scoring is Anderson. Betancourt moves to third, and it's an RBI single for Butler. Royals lead 1-0.
92 RBIs coming into this game. That's going to be 93. And check out the pitch and the location. It's a breaking ball. It's down and away. And Butler doesn't try to do too much, just stays inside. You're going to see it's going to go a little left to right, slicing down and away from Nick Swisher. Be a 2-out base hit. These are the ones that are tough. If you're A.J. Burnett, you make a good pitch, but a better job of hitting. RBI base hit with 2 outs.
Mike Jacobs with a big healthy cut, 0-1.
Watching Mike Jacobs early in the year, Michael, he said he's got some power but strikes out a lot, 18 home runs. He's your classic left-hander, loves the ball down and in. It's one spot AJ's going to want to stay away from. You throw a curveball, make sure you bounce it down and in. Swung right over the top of that one. You can elevate fastballs with him, breaking balls down in the dirt, but you make a mistake down and in, he can hit it a long way.
Kansas City 1-0 over the Yankees. First and third, 2 outs. 0-2 count on Jacobs. Crowd looking for a strikeout. And the pitch low, 1-2.
Good pitch, 3 consecutive curveballs. All of them have been down and in. Love to see AJ ride a fastball up in the count here. Got to believe he slowed Jacobs down enough he could get a fastball right by him if he wants to.
Jacobs started with the Mets. Major League debut August 21st of 05, and what a way to debut. He pinch hit and hit a 3-run home run. Probably thought this is easy. 0-1-2. On the count, 2-2.
Nice block, Jose Molina, runner on third base with 2 outs. Job is to keep it in front. Solid behind the plate. Take another look at this block. You pride yourself if you're a catcher behind the plate. Runner on third. Pitcher has enough confidence to throw it down in the dirt. Textbook block.
2-2. 3-2. And Teixeira trying to get AJ's attention to tell him I'm going to play behind Butler. So Butler will go with 3-2 and 2 outs. Betancourt will stay put at third. Tigers 3-0 over the Twins, bottom of the third. Verlander on the mound. Strike 3. And Jacobs down looking. 6 strikeouts for A.J. Burnett. He struck out the side, but the Royals did get 1 run on 3 hits. They leave 2. We go to the bottom of the third. Text your vote to 58772. Standard text messaging rates apply. Here are your choices. Tigers, Twins in the Central. Rockies and the Braves for the NL wild card. Braves never lose, so the Rockies have to be feeling the heat. And the Tigers and the Twins are going at each other right now. So if the Twins take 3 out of the 4 games, you know what? They'll tie. Right now, it's 3-0 Detroit over Minnesota after Minnesota won the first game 3-2. Florida leads Atlanta 1-0 top of the third. Milwaukee at Colorado a little bit later on.
Well, nice job by Detroit jumping out early in that second ball game with your ace Verlander going after losing a tough one first game.
Modell scoreboard 1-0 Royals. Modell's the official sporting goods retailer of the New York Yankees.
You wondered about the Tigers with Minnesota winning a close game this afternoon. Would they come out a little flat tonight? They've answered that. 3 runs early.
I talked to Jack Morris today. He's one of the Twins radio broadcasters. I said, how are the Twins doing? No Justin Morneau. No really big-time pitcher at all. And he said, I know this sounds like a cliche. He said, the way they're doing it is they're actually playing baseball the right way. They play good defense. Their pitchers throw first pitch strikes. They move base runners. They know how to bunt. He says they do all the little things. He said, I know that doesn't sound like a big deal, but that's why they're winning.
But you know, Michael, there's nothing different with the Minnesota Twins. I mean, every year I look at their team on paper and I'm like, well, this is a year they're not going to have a chance. You know, they're not going to make the playoffs because they just don't impress you with their numbers. You know, Morneau and Mauer, obviously. Kadyr's a good player. But, I mean, everybody else is role players, but they don't beat themselves. They do the little things, and they're right there at the end again.
Gardner swings and misses. He's down on strikes.
To be honest with you, they're an easy team to root for when you watch them because they do all the little things. They don't have too many stars. I mean, Mauer, obviously. Probably going to be the MVP.
And this is where it is right now. The magic number for the Tigers is 6, but they are leading in the nightcap. Now, here's also an interesting thing to tell you what the Twins are about. Joe Mauer caught the first game of the day-night doubleheader. And I was wondering, was he going to catch the second game? And between games, he walked into Gardenhire's office and said, I'm catching it. I don't want to hear anything about it. I'm catching the second game. And Mauer said that Gardenhire said to him, he said, I mean, what more can you ask from a leader? He says, he's catching the second game.
Love to hear that.
The 1-1. There's a strike.
Nothing against Mike Redmond, the backup catcher, who's a quality offensive player, doesn't have much power, but I mean, puts the ball in play, does a good job behind the plate. But you're right, the leader of your team. Now, Mauer's graduated this year, obviously the power numbers.
That's punched through the right side of the infield as Jose Molina breaks an 0 for 19 slide with that single. Tomorrow morning, turn to Yes at 10:30 for a live press conference announcing a new college football bowl game to be held at Yankee Stadium between teams from the Big East and Big 12 conferences. Join Bob Lorenz and Kimberly Jones for coverage starting tomorrow at 10:30 right here on Yes. There's Pena, and there's a strike. I wish that we had a camera on John Flaherty, because when I just told you the Mauer story, as a catcher, I could see the pride in your face that he actually said, I'm playing.
That's what you would expect out of a backstop.
You don't always get what you expect. Hot shot right back to LaRue and fires the first for a double play. So Pena hit a hot shot, but LaRue snared it and doubled up Molina at first base. No runs a hit, no errors, and because of this DP, nobody left on base. We played 3 at the stadium. It's 1-0 Kansas City. Against which team did he collect his first Major League victory? I'd say it'd have to be a National League team.
I would think so. I would think so. Did he make it to the big leagues with the Mets, or was he traded before that?
He was traded before that for Al Leiter.
Wow. Some big names.
The 1-0. Count 2-0. And we have runners that really work hard for us throughout the year. And we'll talk about them more tomorrow, but we had one yesterday and we missed his birthday, and we have to give him happy birthday wishes. That one is drilled to right field. Fair ball, it's trouble. It's a foul ball. Pete Lombardi turned 20 yesterday.
Oh, the 20th is a big one.
Big, huge. Next one's even bigger.
Happy birthday, Pete.
Happy birthday indeed.
Now I got a question for you.
Hey, Pete.
Where's the cake? You made a cake for Kim Jones and Susan Waldman.
Yeah,
Where's Pete's cake?
I didn't have the time to bake for Pete.
Oh, you had the ceremony before the game. That cut into your baking time.
It really did. Usually I reserve that time to bake, but I didn't have the time. The 2-1. Count 3-1.
Maybe a slice of pizza for Pete will do.
Yeah, it's a pie.
There you go.
Pizza pie. You remember 20, John?
No.
Not a bit. Good times at G-Dub.
Great times. Kids in the library studying.
I'll play along. Kai Aspo walks to lead off the fourth inning. Honestly, did you know where the library was?
Yes.
Yeah. This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the New York Yankees. It may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the aforementioned New York Yankees. Here's Mark Tien. Swing and a miss. Red Sox losing again. 5-2 to Toronto, top of the third. Clay Buchholz getting hit hard over 3 innings. They lost yesterday. They got swept by the Yankees. I don't see how they could blow the lead, that's for sure, but looks like they're stumbling into the playoffs.
Yeah, some concerns. Josh Beckett getting scratched from that start yesterday. We always talk about the Yankees and how you want to see A.J. have a good outing tonight. Well, there's got to be some concerns in Boston about Josh Beckett being scratched with only a weeks left of ball games.
The 0-2. Check swing, did he go? No, he did not, said Chris Guccione.
How about the Angels ceremony, Michael? You see that going out to center field?
Yeah, it was very nice. Nick Aidenhart's image is on the outfield wall. They all went to touch the image because he would have been a part of the celebration, they said. Mark Tien flies out to left. You know, Mike Scioscia has received a lot of plaudits for the way he has handled. There's no handbook for losing somebody so young and so important to your team, but that team has certainly handled it as well as you could.
Well, think about what that team went through. I mean, Nick Aidenhart, the passing early on, all the injuries that they've gone through. Bobby Abreu's had a very solid year out there. Now they're going to be a dangerous team in the postseason.
High fly ball right field. And Swisher puts it away to retire John Butler. Hey, George Brett at the game. Odd for him to wear his name on his back. Like, oh, that's it, George.
Is he enjoying some sushi there? No, that's a little
awesome
dessert.
Pastries.
Early dessert.
Here's Alex Gordon, struck out in the third inning. Fouled away.
I mentioned the Royals, they go up there swinging, very aggressive. They're 13th in the league in base on balls. They go up there hacking from the first pitch. Opposite of the Yankees, who really make a pitcher work, throw strikes.
Pitch outside.
A little surprised Jorge Posada not back in the lineup tonight. Had that sore trapezius muscle. Is that right, Michael?
I say neck.
You say neck. A GW guy says trapezius.
Well, he played yesterday. Picked up a couple of hits.
Well, with a few days off, he would get a couple of games back to back. It's another fine line for Joe Girardi. A good problem to have. Keep your regulars fresh, but give them a little break here at the end. Make sure they're ready to go the last couple of days.
I mentioned this a bit earlier. The Yankees announced their starting rotation for the weekend in Tampa Bay. CC Sabathia will go for his 20th on Friday. Andy Pettit will pitch on Saturday. And he'll go for his 15th one. And A.J. Burnett will pitch on Sunday. Andy Pettit, nice short speech honoring Mariano Rivera and Derek Jeter before the game. I thought the best thing he said in that speech, I've known you both since you were kids, and with all your success, neither one of you has changed one bit. That's about the highest compliment that you could pay somebody. Breaking ball, strike three. Gordon down looking. 7th strikeout for A.J. Burnett. No runs, no hits, no errors, and one man left on base. We go to the bottom of the 4th inning. Yeah, I'll guess the Mets, since they traded him. I don't know. Let's see. Oh, the Dodgers. 1999 with the Marlins. Mets, Marlins, Blue Jays, and now the Yankees. Here's Derek Jeter. Pitches outside, 1-0. Well, this is the second time the Yankees are going to look at LaRue. He's faced a minimum 9 batters over 3 innings, picked up 2 double plays, so let's see if they've picked anything up on him.
Well, they should have picked up a few things. He's going to work quickly, likes to get on the mound, work fast, and a really good changeup, especially right on right. You mentioned it earlier, right-handed batter's not used to seeing that.
And a strike. There we go. Yankees have beaten up on the Central this year. American League Central teams against the Yankees 5-20. As Derek Jeter works along, and the Yankees will face a team from the American League Central in the first round of the playoffs. Let's take a look at the Coors Light freeze cam and freeze some of the images from the great pregame ceremony. Melky Cabrera honored for his cycle, Mariano for his 500th save, nice ring, and Derek Jeter for his record-breaking hit. And then the team crowded around. They took a nice photo. Mariano's family was there. A couple of ex-Yankees came back. Tino Martinez, Dave Winfield, Bernie Williams. Am I missing anybody else? Reggie Jackson.
Yogi,
David Cohn. Nice ceremony. And it was kept hush-hush. Do you know that none of the participants knew about it? Jeter didn't know. Mariano didn't know. Melky didn't know. And the funny thing is, both John Sterling and I were asked to MC it like 3-4 days ago. And John asked the person who asked him, well, what is the ceremony? I can't tell you. So what do? You just show up. So we did not receive the script until about 5 minutes before going on the field.
you know, you amaze me every day. I mean, that's just incredible. You go out there in front of a big crowd, can't rehearse it, and just pull it off like you've studied for a week. That's a Fordham background for you.
You're really mocking me tonight.
No, that's impressive. I wouldn't be able to do that. No, I would be panicking. I'd say, you got to give me some more information. I mean, I spoke to an elementary school today to a couple of classes. I needed a lot of information. Tell me what I have to say, when I have to be there. I can't wing it like that.
Teixeira pops one up foul behind the plate. How were you received in those speeches? Everything went well?
It really went well. It was my sister-in-law's school that she teaches at, and they were doing a big teamwork assembly for a couple of weeks now, so they wanted me to come in there and give a little talk on teamwork. I have to be honest with you, the kindergartners and the first grade, the message might have been over their head a little bit.
Right.
But the second, third, and fourth graders had a great time.
Now, did you talk about your baseball playing teamwork or the teamwork we have here in the Yes booth?
I actually went through it all, from the teamwork that you have to have with your family, your classmates, your school, and how you're constantly going to be involved in teams throughout the rest of your life. I thought when I was done playing baseball, the team aspect would be over, but I didn't realize I'd be sharing or doing time, as David Cohn says, with Michael Kay and David Cohn.
Popped up.
Al Leiter.
And out of play. Now, who wrote this for you? Or is this off the top of your head?
Off the disc winging.
Really?
But I needed an outline. That's why I'm impressed that you were able to go out there with nothing until 5 minutes beforehand and then just pulled it off like a champ. Did you sense how Derek Jeter was uncomfortable out there?
Oh, totally. First he stood by us. Like, we got to go to home plate. What? Yeah, it was funny. He did not know what was going to happen, and he never likes being the center of attention. But they gave all of those guys really cool gifts, and it's that kind of gifts that are expensive gifts. They're gifts that they're kind of like priceless.
Yeah.
I mean, they had a picture of him getting his record-breaking hit, and over the picture was his bat, and on the bottom of the picture was a real Lou Gehrig bat. That one is served in the left field off the bat of Teixeira for base hit.
Good sinker from LaRue. Better job of hitting by Mark Teixeira. It sounded like he broke his bat. Check out the action down and away, right off the end of Mark Teixeira's bat. See how he keeps that bat through the zone. It's not going to pull off. It comes all the way out here towards the pitcher. That enables him to stay through and get a base hit to left field. He doesn't hit it hard, but watch how this bat goes towards the pitcher. Just enough to get a base hit.
Here's Alex Rodriguez with runners on first and second. Yankees have had 14 walk-off wins this year, and Alex has been involved in scoring or driving in the game-winning or tying run in 6 of the 14 walk-off wins. 0-1.
You know what, Michael, we could sit up here, I think, and talk about stats like you just read and all these things about Alex Rodriguez, how good he's been the second half. But do you get a different feeling, him going into this postseason? He just seems to be a lot more relaxed. I think Mark Teixeira has taken a lot of the pressure off. Expect him to have a good postseason.
I was talking to Reggie Jackson about it the other day, and he said, almost echoed what you said, and he said the reason for it, he said, is that what happened in spring training, he said, freed Alex's mind. He said, there's no monkey on his back anymore. There's no thing hovering over him. He said, I think he's happy. He's calm. He's cool. He says, I think he's going to do well. Foul down the right field line. I asked Reggie, what is the secret to the success in the postseason? Reggie has a great nickname, Mr. October. He said, you can't be worried about failure. You can't ever think about failure, and you have to embrace the moment. You want to be there. Don't try to avoid it. Just take it head on and take it in the moment. Don't think about how big it is. He said, and the focus has to be so laser-like in the postseason. He said, you can't focus like that every single at-bat throughout the regular season. You just can't. He said, but you have to be so locked in and not worried about failing. I guess that was the most important thing.
And don't you think, like, a guy like Alex is as talented as anybody in the game? You got to guard against trying to do too much, I would think. You know, I mean, I was just a backup player, so never had that problem. But a guy like Alex, he could do amazing things.
Check swing right back to LaRue. Nice play. The throw to second, they get the force there. And Alex reaches first on the fielder's choice.
I mentioned LaRue had a football scholarship to Penn State, so that tells you he's a good athlete, and he shows it here. Little change-up check swing from Alex Rodriguez. Nice extension to his right. Sets his feet. Makes a strong throw down in the dirt. A nice play by Callaspo to pick it. But watch the athleticism coming off the mound. Resets. Low throw, but picked. Nice play.
Now they're going to check on LaRue, see if he's okay. He wants them out of his face. I'm good. Made a pretty nice play earlier on a comeback off the bat of Ramiro Pena.
And this is a rocket right back up the middle. Kind of just a reaction play, but athletic enough. A little short arm throw to first base for the double play. A lot of pitchers have to really reset, regroup to make that throw. He does it on the run. Good play.
And John, if he's recruited by Joe Pa, you know he can play. You know he's an athlete. Joe Pa does not bring in stiffs as a Nittany Lion.
Yes.
You know that our very own Kim Jones is a Penn State
I do know that.
alum. Yeah, she's a big Joe Paterno fan. Here's Matsui. And also Al Leiter is a Penn State grad.
Graduate?
Well, he did. He did it on the internet. He never stepped on the campus. He's never been to Happy Valley, but he did on the internet. He's got a Penn State diploma.
He finished 4 years on the internet.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, he did.
That's outstanding. I'm impressed.
The 0-1. 1-1.
Let's face it. I mean, financially, Al didn't need to go graduate college for a job after baseball. I'm impressed that he went and did that. That's a good example for his kids.
He feels he needed it to complete himself.
That's great. That's impressive.
I think he did it. He actually did it when he was out 3 years with a bad shoulder, and he felt that he had to have something to. He was trying to become, I guess, a real estate broker. The Al Leiter story. It's all coming out this October. Big feature film. The 2-1. Count 3-1.
Hideki here in a hitter's count, 3-1 with 2 outs. You got to be thinking you're going to get a sinker away or a possible changeup. Really got to be disciplined to drive the ball the other way. Betancourt actually shading Hideki up the middle, so he's got some room to the left side.
And now the bases are loaded. Matsui works a walk for Nick Swisher. Yankees are back in the postseason, and Yes is going to be there every step of the way. Turn to Yes before and after every Yankees playoff game for in-depth, extended pre- and post-game coverage and analysis from the entire Yes Network team. So for the best Bombers postseason coverage, turn to the home of the Yankees, the Yes Network.
Nick Swisher with a chance to do some damage with 2 outs. Unusual for him. He swung at the first pitch his last at bat, and he popped up. See if he's going to be a little bit more patient, try to get in a good hitter's count like we've seen him do all year. The best Yankee hitters are getting into good counts, not swinging at bad pitches. It was so unusual to see him swing at a first pitch, his first at bat.
Shortstop Betancourt shades up the middle, and the first pitch is a strike. Four grand slams for Swisher. Way upstairs, 1-1.
You watch a young pitcher, you pay attention when he gets in trouble. What pitch does he go to? We just saw back-to-back changeups. It tells you what he feels about it, what John Buck feels about it. It's going to be his #1 pitch. He went to it 2 in a row.
That one's driven to center field, but Anderson is there, and he'll put it away for the final out of the 4th. No runs a hit, no errors, and the bases are left loaded for the Yankees. We played 4. It's 1-0 Royals. Royals and 0-2-0 for the Yanks. Josh Anderson will lead off against A.J. Burnett. Yankees had their opportunity, bases loaded in the 4th inning, but Nick Swisher hit the ball hard. Run down by Anderson. Brett Gardner extremely shallow in center field for Anderson, and the first pitch is a strike. Shallow and shaded toward left center, and Johnny Damon shallow and shaded toward the line. The 0-1. Foul out. the count 1-2. And we keep showing that Tiger Twins score, and the Twins won the first game of their doubleheader 3-2 in 10 innings. And the entire Twins organization was extremely unhappy with the rain out yesterday, because when you're trying to win every single game of the series, the last thing you need is 2 days or 2 games on one day. I don't care what the stats tell you, but in all likelihood you're going to split. So that's the last thing they needed. They wanted to win one yesterday and try to win another one today. And now they're trailing 3-0 to Verlander. Verlander's pretty tough. What the Yankees have to hope, let's say they face the Tigers, John, that the Tigers have to play all the way till Sunday to win it, because if that's the case, then Verlander has to pitch on Sunday. And the first game of the Yankees choose the series with the 3 off days would be Wednesday. Verlander could not start until the second game, which would be on Friday. Anderson is out. Seven strikeouts so far for A.J. Burnett.
A lot of them have come on this power curveball, down and away, down and in. He's also had a backdoor curveball. Changeup has been a good pitch. Another curveball down and in. Fastball right down the middle. Another curveball. Common theme, that curveball's been a good pitch tonight.
And the pitch to Meyer is a strike. 7 or more strikeouts in 4 of his last 7 games. He's a strikeout pitcher. Last time out, 11 strikeouts against the Angels at 5 2/3. Here you look at the Royals, and they've had a lot of injuries to significant players. And one thing that a smaller payroll team cannot do is absorb injuries like the Royals have had. Coco Crisp, shoulder surgery on both shoulders. Jose Guillen, supposed to be your number 3 or 4 hitter. He's out. Alex Gordon missed 80 games with hip surgery. Mike Aviles, the shortstop, has been out. Bannister's been hurt. Mesh has been hurt. That one is looped toward third. Fielded on one hop by A-Rod, and he gets Meyer for the second out. He's an American sports icon and a legend in the city of New York. Tomorrow night, the Emmy-winning series Yankeeography profiles the architect of the modern Yankees dynasty, the boss, George Steinbrenner. Don't miss this special 90-minute presentation with limited commercial interruption. Tomorrow night at 11, only on Yes.
Well, Michael, you bring up some good points about the injuries with the Royals, but I mean, defensively they have not done a good job, and just little things, you know. The Minnesota Twins in this division have done such a good job with limited payroll, not the big name players, because they play good baseball. You talk to some people around the Royals, really have not been fundamentally sound this year, and the injuries are true, but there's also been a little more to it.
Live ball left field, back-tracking is Damon, and he hauls it into the final out of a 1-2-3 inning. Well, we played 4.5 here at the stadium. We're halfway through. Royals lead the Yankees 1-0. You're watching Yes. Well, the Yankees threatened in the fourth inning. Weren't able to push anything across. Brett Gardner leads off, and he'll take a strike from Anthony LaRue. And the 0-1. Count 1-1.
Trey Hillman has to be happy with what he's seen from LaRue, his second big league start here in September for the Royals. This combination of a sinking fastball, good changeup, has only walked one. He works fast. Looks like he has these Yankee hitters on their heels a little bit.
Lets his scoreboard 1-0, and a bunt by Gardner, but it's over the screen and in the seats.
But a bad idea for Brett Gardner, trying to get something going here in the fifth inning. 2-1 count. You pretty much thinking you're going to get a fastball. He got it. Just a little bit out front, popped it up.
5-0 Detroit over the Twins. You like Detroit's chances in that game with Justin Verlander on the mound. The 2-2. Punched out toward left field. Anderson runs it down for the first out of the fifth. Been a good first season to this new ballpark, as the Yankees have a decided home field advantage. The Daily News had a big story today about how this is definitely home sweet home, and if you look at the way the Yankees are constructed, John, they're built for this ballpark, and they have the right pitchers for this ballpark as well. If you're going to pitch in this ballpark, you have to be able to strike people out. CC Sabathia and A.J. Burnett would be the right pitchers for this ballpark.
Well, you're right. You don't want fly ball pitchers. I mean, it's a friendly confines, especially in right field. A.J. piling up the strikeouts tonight. But I think Andy Pettitte said it perfectly in the paper. They just feel like they're going to win here. You know, I mean, it almost goes beyond the numbers that you have a good ball club and you just go out there on that field in front of your home fans. You feel great about it. 56-23.
And also very good on the road. 12 games over on the road. Now the 56-23 is important because if they have one more win over these next two games, they're going to tie the all-time record for most wins at a ballpark in its first major league season. The Red Sox were 57-20 at Fenway Park in 1912. Now A.J. Burnett has a much lower ERA at home, and CC Sabathia is 7-2 with a 3.17 ERA at home. I would assume that this is the type of ballpark where you don't want a fly ball pitcher to start, and you know, sometimes a playoff team's best pitcher is a fly ball pitcher. So the Yankees, I think that's how they'll arrange their pitching. There's been some debate. Would Andy Pettitte start game two because of his experience? Well, Andy Pettitte has pitched better on the road than he has at home, and A.J. Burnett the complete opposite of that. That one is lined to left field off the bat of Molina. Meyer puts it away, 2-0.
Well, I was also thinking the back-to-back lefties with, you know, Andy Pettitte and CC Sabathia would be back-to-back. I thought Joe Girardi might want to stay away from that, but he's come out and said that's not really an issue. He doesn't mind having two lefties going back-to-back. So, like we talked about earlier, it's still up in the air how the rotation is going to fall. I think you trust Andy Pettitte a little bit more on the road in a hostile environment. You know, being there, being in so many big postseason games. You want to make A.J. Burnett feel as comfortable as possible. You would think that would be here home in front of the home fans.
Don't you think, though, John, on a best-of-5 game two is so vitally important to either go up 2-0 or you save going down 0-2?
It's huge. I mean, and we've seen Andy through the years pitch that game too.
Diaspo makes a nice play with LaRue covering to get Ramiro Pena to score that 4-1. The final out of a 1-2-3 inning. We played 5 here at the stadium. Kansas City leads the Yankees 1-0 on Yes. Yes, we get our Green Mountain K-Cup coffee system from the same people who bring us our office supplies. W.B. Mason. Who but? We go to the 6th inning. Yankees are trailing 1-0 to the Royals. Billy Butler will lead off against A.J. Burnett, who's thrown 86 pitches. Way outside. It is such a delicate tightrope that a manager has to walk when his team is clinched. Now, A.J. Burnett, how long do you keep him in? Do you push him? When he pitches on Sunday, how long do you keep him in? How long do you play your regulars? The last thing you need is to have a debilitating injury that's going to affect you in the postseason. But you also don't want guys trying to get out of sync. You don't want them to get out of their groove, whatever they're doing at the plate. It's a tough call.
It really is, and I mentioned earlier when Mark Teixeira was up at the plate for his first at bat, if you're a hitter who's in a good groove, you really got to concentrate. Because let's be honest, I mean, the Yankees know these games don't mean a whole lot in the one-loss column, you know, but personally you want to make sure you keep your mechanics, keep your focus, because the last thing you want going into postseason play is to be struggling with something mechanically. You don't want to be thinking about anything up at the plate or on the mound.
The 1-2, right back to Burnett. And Butler is retired. Make plans for the 2009 postseason and host your group in a Yankee Stadium suite. Join in the excitement as the Yankees continue their quest for a 27th World Championship. Yankee Stadium suites are the perfect entertainment venue with sizes ranging from 12 to 60 guests. Reserve your suite today. Availability is very limited. Call 646-977-8900 or email suites@yankees.com. Here's Mike Jacobs. And there's a strike. Pitch outside, 1-1.
You know, Michael, we were talking last inning about the Yankees and their rotation for the postseason, and I mentioned, you know, having A.J. Burnett pitch here at home where he's comfortable in front of the home fans, and I know that comes into play with managers' decisions in the front office. When Randy Johnson pitched Game 3 against the Angels in 05, I was asked that specific question. Would he be more comfortable here at the stadium, going through his regular routine at home, being in front of the home fans? And Joe Torre thought that was the right move to pitch him Game 3 at home, and it backfired. He didn't pitch well. But those types of conversations go on between players, pitchers, catchers, managers, front office to get that whole equation on what's going to be the best recipe for the rotation.
The 2-1. Fouled away. And these are big-time decisions, too. These are decisions that you lose sleep over if you're management or the front office, because your entire season could end if you make the wrong call.
In a 5-game series, that first series, it's huge. I mean, you get a little away with it a little bit in the next round, but you really want to make the right decisions with that rotation in that first short series.
The 2-2 inside. And in that 05 Game 3, Johnson went just 3 innings, 9 hits, 5 runs, and 2 home runs.
Yeah, and it was a conscious decision that we wanted to keep him at the stadium in front of the New York fans. He was on his routine with the bullpen, and everything was comfortable. And that's what happened. You put all your thought into what's the right move, and he just did not have a good ball game, only 3 innings.
3-2, fouled away. Picture for the ages, the Great Hall. And a little fight about the start.
Oh,
down he goes. Oh, he's coming back though. And a swing. It's Jacobs down on strikes.
It's going to be the 8th strikeout of the ball game for A.J. Burnett. Again, it's that power curveball down, pretty much down middle. Jacob swings right over the top, and it gets sped up with a fastball to pitch before setting up this off-speed curveball down middle.
Cayaspo, a high fly ball. Shallow right. Swisher is there. And that'll do it. And A.J. Burnett has retired 9 in a row since the walk in the 4th inning. We go to the bottom of the 6th. 1-0 Royals. Help save the lives of patients with life-threatening diseases such as leukemia and lymphoma in need of a bone marrow transplant donor. Tomorrow, September 30th, fans will have the opportunity to join the Be the Match registry at Yankee Stadium on the main 200 level between gauge 4 and 6. If you're between the ages of 18 and 60, you can register to be a donor by completing a health history and giving a swab of cheek cells. For thousands, a marrow transplant from an unrelated donor is their best or only hope for a cure. These patients depend on the Be the Match registry to find a match and a second chance at life. Interested individuals can also join online at bethematch.org. Derek Jeter takes a pitch outside 1-0 as we start the bottom of the 6th inning. Anthony LaRue has been great. He's held the Yankees to just 2 hits. Now the Yankees yesterday did not have their big lineup in there. That's Saturn, by the way. That's also how many runs the Yankees have scored. Yesterday they had a lot of the youngsters in, and they were able to put together an 8-run game. So far, nothing as Jeter grounds out to short. Yankees Baseball on Yes is brought to you in part by your tri-state area Audi dealers. Audi, the official luxury vehicle of the New York Yankees.
And I mentioned in our G-Pitcher scouting report that LaRue really finished the year strong in Double-A, 8-1 over his last 11 starts with an ERA just over 2. It doesn't matter what level you're at. If you throw the ball like he is tonight, work fast, throw strikes, a little bit of movement on the sinker, good changeup and a slider, he'll get any hitter out.
Count 1-0. Tomorrow, Jabba Chamberlain against Robinson Tejeda. So the Yankees started the season meeting Kansas City in April, ended, at least at the stadium, meeting Kansas City here in the Bronx, and they never got to see Zach Greinke.
Good news for the Yankees.
Bad news for the rest of the American League. He has been just unbelievable. High fly ball, right field. 2 outs. Check out this stat, John. This is an amazing stat about Greinke. He's 7-4 with a 1.24 ERA and 14 starts this year against teams that currently have a winning record. Now, when Bob Gibson posted a 1.12 ERA in 1968, he was 5-4 with a 1.40 and 10 starts against teams that finished the season with a winning record. It's going to be close. If CC wins the start on Friday, he's going to have 20 wins. Frankie might end up with 17 wins.
That is going to be a tough call.
Line to right field. Tien gives it a look. It's gone. See ya. 39th home run for Teixeira. Tied with Carlos Pena for the most in the American League. Just sneaks over the wall, and it's a 1-1 game.
First mistake that LaRue has made all night. He made it with a changeup, his bread and butter pitch. Watts of location, up, out over the plate. Mark Teixeira hits this ball well. Looked like he had a little top spin on it. The only question, would it clear that porch in right field? It does. Home run number 39. And it hits the top of the wall and bounces out. Tie ball game.
There's Alex Rodriguez, fouled away. 39 home runs and 121 ribbies.
Check out the location. The changeup has been a great pitch. You see Buck setting up down and away. It ends up. Actually unusual. Mark could keep that ball up in the air enough. He had a lot of top spin on it. Kind of has that uppercut swing coming up from the underneath. Still had enough height.
One outside.
I guess just building that case for a possible MVP. I mean, there are some tough decisions this year, Michael. Cy Young, MVP.
Carlos Pena's been out for most of the month after getting hurt here at Yankee Stadium, so Teixeira has caught that standing target. And one more, and he will lead the American League. Not too bad in the first season as a Yankee, John. He'll lead the American League in home runs and in RBIs.
With no transition period, I guess that first month of the year, he was struggling a little bit. Alex Rodriguez wasn't around. He's been a traditional slow starter, but I'll tell you what, at the end, it all worked out fine.
Three-two. Foul back. Line to the center field. And Josh Anderson tries to dive, but he does not make the play. Catches it on a hop. And a base hit for Alex Rodriguez. If you're going to try to sell the call, John, you got to be realistic.
Yeah, you got to learn which ones you actually try to sell to a major league umpire. This wouldn't be one of them. Check out the swing by Alex Rodriguez. Off balance, half swing. Bounces way in front of Anderson, but he decides he's going to try to give it a shot to get the call. Not even going to be close. More amazed at the swing at Alex Rodriguez. Way off balance. Has had a tough time with the changeup, but able to keep his hands back and flip it to center field for a base hit. One of the funkiest swings you'll ever see from Alex Rodriguez.
Minnesota on the board. Detroit now leads 5-2. And that's the way it is in the middle of the sixth inning.
Yeah, this isn't one that you want to break down on the videotape. The front foot gets down. He kind of stops halfway, flips his hands. It's going to look good in the box score tomorrow, but that's not a swing that Alex Rodriguez is going to want to look at on tape. That's not what you would call his A swing.
Time for another look at tonight's Toyota Text Ball. Once again, the question, which of these remaining playoff races is more likely to provide an upset? You've been texting us at 58772 all night. And here's how you voted. I guess people think the Twins are going to beat out the Tigers and the Braves will not beat out the Rockies. So runner on first for Hideki Matsui. Squib just foul. That's nice. Not just a signature, but a logo.
This would have been a thing of beauty for Hideki Matsui. Pulls off a changeup, and it's just foul. You see Gordon was shading him more towards the middle of the field. Third base umpire Chris Guccione all over it. That would have been a thing of beauty if you're Hideki Matsui, if that stays fair.
Matsui's put together a nice year. 28 homers and 90 runs batted in. Free agent at the end of the year has stated very publicly that he wants to come back. And those are decisions the Yankees have to make during the offseason. They have a decision to make about Johnny Damon as well.
And you know, the health of Hideki Matsui will have a lot of influence on that decision. Obviously a productive player when he's out on the field, but he's had a couple of knee surgeries on both knees. You don't know how much longer he has, but when he's in there, Joe Girardi's done a great job keeping him on the field.
Now, Matsui has said that he could play in the outfield. And Joe Girardi said, okay, maybe he could. He said, but I'm attacking it that I want him in the lineup as much as I can. If I play him in the outfield, there's a good chance he's going to break down. Can he play the outfield? Yes, but I don't want to put him there.
Yeah, why? You know, I mean, you got Johnny Damon out there. You have some outfielders, Melky and Gardner when he's healthy.
High fly ball, shallow center. Anderson will not sell this one. He puts it away for the final out of the sixth. But the Yankees try to score 1 run on 2 hits, no errors, and 1 man left. Short porch home run. Hanging changeup. He takes it to right off the top of the wall. A paint scraper. 1-1 as we go to the 7th. Seats and other memorabilia now on sale at Yankees.com. All memorabilia comes with a Yankee Steiner letter of authenticity. For more information and to purchase original Yankee Stadium seats and other memorabilia, visit Yankees.com today and click the Shop tab. We go to the 7th. A.J. Burnett's still in there. It's a 1-1 game. And Mark Teahan takes a pitch out of the zone, 1-0. Neat gesture. And some of the gifts they gave to Derek Jeter, they gave him the 2 seats that he ran into in that game against the Boston Red Sox, the one that you won with the base hit in the 13th inning. But those are the seats that Jeter planted his face on.
That's a nice way to put it.
That was a great play, and that was a great game. And they also had a picture.
It's a great shot. Full extension.
Now, when he ran into the stands like that, bloodied his face up and made the catch, are you thinking, I'm going to be the hero of this game?
No chance. I'm in the bullpen chilling. I didn't even get a good view at it. I had to watch it up on the big screen in center field. But then he got concerned. And when he went in, you weren't that concerned. When he came out, obviously his face was all beat up. And then when Derek Jeter doesn't come back on the field the next inning, you know it's bad.
Now, all things considered, he could have been beaten up a lot more. He could have lost teeth, could have broken a bone in his face, but he was just bruised up and cut. And here is that play. What a play. Pitch inside, 3-2. You think he puts that in his house and people that come by go, by the way, this is a pair of seats that I ran into in 04.
I think he's going to have plenty of room in his new house. I don't think space is going to be the issue. Now, Michael, you know about my basement, right? I mean,
I heard about it.
You haven't seen it yet,
right.
but I brag about my basement quite often. As Phil Koch getting loose. I was thinking about Derek out on the field with all those little presents. I mean, he's going to have to open up quite a huge basement, fill it up.
Now, you were very tight with Derek, so why don't you go up to him after the game night and say, you know, I'll take some of that stuff off your hands just to hold it in my basement.
Well, I don't want that responsibility. That stuff's nice. The stuff I have in mine isn't quite as nice as that.
It's nice enough to keep all of us at Yes away. We never get an invite down to the mansion. 3-2. Driven the other way and out of play. John, what do you think about this? It's a 1-1 game. We're talking about that the games don't really mean that much right now. Is it wise to keep Burnett in 107 pitches?
I think they'd love to get him through this inning. He's been so positive right now, you know, during this ball game with the 8 strikeouts. You know what? Get him through this inning. Get him in line for a win if you can.
Tapped in front of the plate. And Molina was trying to play that fair, but it was a foul ball.
Nice try by Molina, actually, trying to sell this. You talked about Anderson in center field trying to sell one. Jose Molina, a little chop, waiting for it to come down, hoping it's going to be in fair territory. Doesn't get the call. But you know what? Why not, Michael? Get him through this 7th inning, see if you can get him in line for a win. If he has a quick inning, great. If not, you bring Phil Koch in.
This is an 11-pitch at bat with this pitch right here, 3-2, and he walked it. Tonight after the postgame, catch it all new This Week in Football presented by Geico. Join our experts as they break down Week 3 in the NFL, including the Giants matchup against the Bucs and the Jets battle with the Titans. Plus, get a preview of Week 4. It's an all new This Week in Football tonight after the postgame only on Yes. Were you at that Jets-Titans game, John?
I was not. No, I was not.
Oh, that's right. Your son had a game.
He actually had his game on Saturday, but we had a charity event that we participated in on Sunday.
Shattered bat, popped up the center. Right there is Gardner. So you've missed the Patriot game and you missed the Titans game. When do you plan on going? You have season tickets.
Well, I went to one game last year. It's Joe Girardi's going to come out and have a conversation with AJ. But you know what? Jet fans are happy these days. We have a lot to be excited about. Rex Ryan, Mark Sanchez. I'll get there. I'll get there at the end of the year.
Kelly Rhodes came up as a guest on Friday.
Up in the booth?
Up in this booth between Leiter and me. So Joe Girardi telling AJ Burnett, hey, you did a good job. And he did. So runner on first base, 1 out, 7th inning. Burnett's going to get a big hand from the crowd. This will be his final start at Yankee Stadium during the regular season. Tips his cap to his hometown fans. Coke runs in from the outfield. We'll duck away for just a moment. Stay where you are. Pier 78 on West 38th Street in Manhattan. That's from 3 p.m. until 5 p.m. And don't miss this opportunity to meet a pinstripe legend and take the Yankee Clipper to the game. Before the game, Tino, who presented Derek Jeter with the bag, first base bag, when Derek got his record-breaking hit. And Tino was at first base at the Kingdome as a member of the Seattle Mariners when Derek Jeter got his first hit back in 1995.
So wait a second, you get to meet Tino and then take him to the game?
I'm not quite sure. I'm not sure if Tino will be on the Yankee Clipper. But he's going to greet fans. Gordon lays down a bunt. And Coke winds up, and he wound up and it was too much time. And that's why Gordon beat it out. So base hit as Tien moves to second.
It wasn't a great bunt either. Gordon squares around. It looked like Phil Coke just kind of took his time. He didn't realize that Gordon ran as well as he did. You could say it takes a little crow hop, an extra step, and Gordon well past the bag. So even with that hip surgery earlier in the year, he's running pretty well. Not really even a close play.
Phil Coke comes in. Thanks to the calls of the bullpen, brought to you by AT&T, your world delivered. Here's Josh Anderson. Count 1-0. 70th game for Coke.
Talked about Anderson early on. 22 stolen bases, 23 now. It's David Robertson getting loose in the pen.
That's a strike.
A guy who runs like that, you got to be thinking about a possibility of another bunt here. Mark Teixeira playing deep at first. Alex Rodriguez pretty deep at third. Left on left might not be a bad spot for the center fielder to take a shot laying down a bunt.
Coke has inherited 51 base runners and he's allowed only 11 to score, so 78% stranded rate. A.J. Burnett, pretty good game. 6 1/3, 3 hits, a run, 3 walks, and 8 strikeouts.
Really good game. I mean, the curveball was outstanding. A couple of good changeups, but the location with the fastball much better. He's on a good run, 3 games in a row.
Right back to Coke. Fires into center field. That's going to allow Tien to score. Moving to third is Gordon, and going to second is Anderson. So a bad throw by Phil Coke, and the Royals take a 2-1 lead.
Yeah, this looked like trouble all the way with Phil Coke. Anderson runs well. You knew the double play probably wasn't going to happen. When he turns around, gets his body turned, and then makes a wide throw. Derek Jeter on the run, can't adjust. Gordon will go all the way to third. Anderson goes all the way to second. You can see once he spins his body all the way around, front side is open. The ball sails away. There's no way there was going to be a double play turned on this. But we'd like to see maybe another step and get a good throw to second base. Tough play for Derek Jeter to keep it in front.
So now second and third with 1 out. And Mitch Meyer jumps on the first pitch and fouls it back. Fielder's choice E1, allowing the run to score and the runner to reach. So Burnett can now lose this game unless the Yankees rally. The 0-1 could not hold up. The count 0-2.
Good slider after first pitch fastball. Gets a check swing. Phil Coke looking to pick up a strikeout here, left on left. And you have the possibility of David Robertson maybe coming in this game looking to finish off the 7th inning.
And the 0-2. Foul away.
Phil Coke got away with a mistake there. You see Jose Molina's going to go have a little chat. Made a quality first pitch fastball inside, a good slider on the second pitch, and then just hung a third slider right down Broadway. Got away with an 0-2 mistake. You see Jose Molina's reaction. He knew it.
So not exactly a loud rally. 5-2. Tigers lead the Twins, top of the 7th. A bunt, and then reaching on an E1. Count 1-2. Fouled away. Right back to Cope, and he had the out at home. And instead he throws it to first. He had the out at home. A run scores. It's 3-1 Kansas City.
Phil Koch having a tough inning in the field here as Joe Girardi looks on. Took a little bit of time on Gordon's bunt. Made a bad throw to second base on a possible double play. And here Gordon coming home all the way. Phil Koch had him right in front of him. Decided to take the out at first. See the ground ball, Gordon going on contact. Phil Koch should see him right there out of the corner of his eye. And then makes a low throw. Mark Teixeira picks it for the second out of the inning. Phil Koch struggling here out in the field.
There's Betancourt. John, do you think he might have forgotten how many outs there were? How could you not go home with it?
Well, I don't think so, because right when he threw it to first base, you see Gordon, I mean, he's got an easy play. Easy play, and he just turns and goes to first. If he thought it was 3 outs, he would have started running in, and he did not even move towards the Yankee dugout. I just think one of those things, Michael, when you have a tough inning in the field and then all of a sudden the ball's hit to you again, it's like a hot potato. You just want to get rid of it. Got an out and gave up a run.
So Phil with a magnet in his glove, but it hasn't turned out great. Took too long on Gordon's bunt. Threw away Anderson's ground ball, and then Meyer, he throws to first instead of home. The 1-1. 1-2. The only ball that left the infield this inning was Buck's fly out to center field, the first out. A walk, a bunt single, an E1, and then a ground ball back to the mound. Count 2-2. And the 2-2 pitch. Rip foul. Royals lead, top of the 7th inning here at the stadium. Weird, sloppy inning has quieted the crowd of 44,794. And there's a ground ball, Alex Rodriguez. This should do it, and it does. But the Royals get 2 runs on just 1 hit, 1 big error, and 1 man left on base. At the end of 6.5, it's time for the 7th inning stretch. Yankees trail 3-1, but we'll stay right here to honor America in the Bronx.
Our moment of silent prayer as we remember the servicemen and women serving our country at home and around the globe. Thank you. Now please join Kate Smith as she sings God Bless America. Ladies and gentlemen, we invite you to
seventh inning, and the Yankees are trailing this one 3-1. A very odd top of the seventh inning, and the Yankees come back and bail out A.J. Burnett, who right now is in line to pick up the loss, although he pitched much better and deserves a better fate. But Anthony LaRue has been outstanding, and Phil Cope pondering a very, very difficult inning. Wasn't hit hard, but just some mistakes made once the baseball was in his glove. And LaRue deals to Nick Swisher, who fouls it off. Both runs in the seventh unearned, not earned. 90 pitches for LaRue, and John, you got to be impressed with the way this kid's pitching.
Yeah, we've talked about it all night, and especially a kid who's, another guy coming back from Tommy John surgery. It's like a broken record, though. He works fast, throws a lot of strikes, challenges the hitters. The Yankees haven't been able to figure him out, haven't been able to figure out a pattern.
Juan Cruz and Dusty Hughes at runs. The 0-2. Driven out to center field deep. Anderson back. Still back. Still back. Still back. See ya! A long home run for Nick Swisher. And the Yankees are trailing 3-2. He crushed that.
You know what, Michael? That had the sound right off the bat. You knew he hit it on the good part of the bat. The only question, going the other way in center field, did he have enough? Nick Swisher now with his 27th, 28th home run. Just opposite of center field. That ball's hit a long way, but it had the sound right off the bat. Check out the swing, the leg kick, foot down. Nice extension with the head down, good follow through.
And Trey Hillman wants to take his kid pitcher out while good things are still happening. He has a lead, so Anthony LaRue is done. And Nick Swisher's 28th home run, the team's 239th 3 more and they tie the single-season franchise record. Can they do it in this game? We'll see. They trail 3-2. Between teams from the Big East and Big 12 conferences. Join Bob Lorenz and Kimberly Jones for coverage starting tomorrow at 10:30 right here on Yes. Tim and Bob busy. They've got to hang around for the post-game show and then turn it around tomorrow at 10:30, a big press conference. Well, it's Dusty Hughes, the new pitcher. And those are Dusty's numbers, and he'll face Brett Gardner. 14 strikeouts in 12 1/3 innings. Count 1-0. Good line for LaRue. Just 2 runs. Shut down a pretty potent lineup. And the 1-0. 2-0.
That's where it gets interesting for the Yankees. You're going to be facing a bunch of kids out of the bullpen that you haven't seen before. September call-ups, getting their feet wet at the big leagues.
At AAA this year, Dusty Hughes 3-3, 3.50 ERA in 34 games. Great baseball name, Dusty Hughes.
Big league name.
The 2-1. There's a strike.
Dropping down a little bit too. Left-hander dropping down on a left-handed batter, Brett Gardner. You wonder why you don't see this a little bit more from lefties coming out of the pen. Take a shot to drop down, a pitch or two, change the angle up a little bit. Good pitch.
And the 2-2. Swing and miss, and Gardner down with strikes. Tonight and throughout the Yankee season on Yes, we're allowing you to vote along with the two of us here in the booth for the Chevy Player of the Game. Text your vote to 58772. And tonight's candidates are number 1, Mark Teixeira, number 2, A.J. Burnett, number 3, Nick Swisher, and number 4, Anthony LaRue. Vote now and make your voice heard. Standard text messaging rates apply. Here's Jose Molina, 1 for 2, the 1, a single in the 3rd inning, broken 0 for 19. Count 1-0. All-time baseball fans in New York might remember a great pinch hitter for the New York Giants by the name of Dusty Rhodes. So Dusty Youth made you think of that a little bit. Off-speed pitch, swing and miss.
Like Hughes has a good changeup. He threw it 2-0 to Brett Gardner. He threw it 1-0 to Jose Molina, so not afraid to throw it in a hitter's count. nice for the young left-hander. Trey Hillman, the manager, paying attention to this guy. You come into Yankee Stadium, how do you handle yourself? Are you able to throw the ball over the plate? It's a nice test for a young pitcher. Kansas City Royals looking forward to next year, and a kid like Hughes could do a nice job in September, maybe get a little longer look in spring training next year.
And the 2-2. Foul back.
A decent fastball, 91 miles an hour, so he's not a soft-throwing lefty. Jose Molina laid on the fastball. It's probably making him a little gun-shy to throw that changeup, which would speed Jose Molina's bat up.
Count 3-2. Switch hitting, Ramiro Pena is on deck. And Molina works a big-time walk. Now the Yankees could do some maneuvering. You have Guzman, who could come off the bench, and that's exactly what Joe Girardi's going to do. He's going to run right away with Freddie Guzman. And then he'll just use Cervelli behind the plate. Remember, the Yankees lead the major leagues with 49 come from behind wins. Guzman doesn't take much time when he's at first. He doesn't need to read the pitcher that much. He's doing that on the bench. He usually just takes off. But here against the left-hander, you might want to get a feel of what it's like standing there at first.
Yes, 2 stolen bases has not been thrown out yet.
Good chance that Guzman's going to be on the postseason roster. They will probably carry Gardner and Guzman. Guzman plays in the outfield, gives them defense, late game if they need, and speed on the bench. They'll pinch run for anybody.
Well, it's a luxury to have one of those guys coming off the bench, which would be Brett Gardner. But to have 2, I mean, that's a valuable weapon. To pitch run for somebody, maybe 7th inning. Still have another runner available for a late inning situation.
Now Ramiro Pena's hitting .284, but as a right-handed hitter this year, he's just 2 for 22. So this is not his strong side. And Hughes has lost the plate. Now 2-0.
You expect Pena here to just try to shoot one the other way. He has a nice hole open between first and second. Callaspo shading up the middle, hoping for a double play. He's got a nice hole over here. If he could just stay inside a fastball or a changeup and punch it the other way. First and third.
And he just nipped the outside corner for a strike.
Check this pitch out. It might be a gift by Jerry Lane. It's questionable. Could go either way.
And they almost picked him off. He was leaning. Guzman with 443 stolen bases in his minor league career.
A good throw gets him. He's leaning. He takes a false step, comes back. A little high throw. It's a little lower. Butler has an easy tag. Guzman just gets back. A 2-1 count here with Derek Jeter on deck. You would think Pena would get a good pitch to hit. Maybe a nice opportunity for a hit and run. I know Guzman's trying to get a jump to steal a base. Maybe you hold back a little bit, play a little hit and run here if you're Joe Girardi. Hughes doing a good job holding him on.
Chases a high fastball. Along with John Flaherty, I'm Michael King. You're watching Yankees baseball right here on the Yes Network. We thank you for spending part of your Tuesday evening with us. Royals lead the Yankees 3-2. Guzman has 7 stolen bases in the majors. He's been in the minors for parts of 8 seasons, so he has beaten the bushes. And an opportunity to contribute to a postseason team. Slow ground ball towards short. They go to second, and they just get Guzman. Just got him. A very gutsy play there by Betancourt.
A gutsy play, but an outstanding play. I mean, Guzman flies. You see Betancourt coming in, throwing behind him a little bit. Gets Guzman by a little bit. Nice aggressive play coming up, charging. Athletic throw to second base to get the second out.
So Trey Hillman trying to keep his team winning here in September. He is going to go back to the bullpen and bring in a right-hander to face Derek Jeter. So Dusty Hughes gets 2 outs, leaves a runner at first base. Jeter's coming up. You stay right where you are.
Off the bottom of the 7th, Nick Swisher hit his 28th home run, and it was a deep one. Fastball down middle. He hits it just to the opposite of center field. That is your Land Rover drive of the game.
It's getting tight in Detroit. They're in the 8th inning, and the Twins have close to 5-4 with a runner on second base and 2 men out. There it is, 5-4. Tigers are leading that one 5-0. 5-0. Juan Cruz takes over for Dusty Hughes. Over his last 9 games, Cruz has pitched to a 14.54 ERA. So the tying run is at first. Derek Jeter's the go-ahead run.
Derek, 4 at-bats against Cruz, does not have a hit.
Ground ball up the middle. He has a hit right now, as Pena will stop at second. And that's Jeter's 200th hit as a shortstop this season. And Jeter and Cano are now the first shortstop and second base combination to have 200 hits while playing their respective positions in a single season in modern baseball history. Keystone combo with 200 hits. So another milestone for the Yankees. Pretty good stuff. And that's That's going to bring up Johnny Damon. Johnny's in a slump. He's 2 for his last 22. And there's Cano has a night off, and Derek Jeter. Off-speed pitch. 0-1.
Good changeup. Derek Jeter swinging at the first fastball he saw. Cruz makes a little adjustment, throws a changeup to Johnny Damon.
And a strike with a fastball. 0-2. Strike 3. Damon down looking. Off speed, fastball inside, fastball outside, end of the inning. But the Yankees creep closer. 1 run, 2 hits, no errors, and 2 men left on base. The 1 run, Nick Swisher's gigantic. A very, very big outing for the Yankees as David Robertson will take the mound for the first time since September 5th. Remember, he was shut down with a stiff elbow. Went to get it checked out. They said nothing's up, just shut it down for a couple weeks. He's been throwing, and they'd like to get him in 2 or 3 games before the postseason to see if he's right.
Yeah, they would love to get him in 3 games, but this is the most important one. He's had a long layoff. You mentioned September 5th. You expect him to be a little rusty with location. Pay attention.
Curtis Granderson just did a home run in the bottom of the 8th inning and gives the Tigers now a 2-run lead. A solo shot, 6-4. These are important games because the one who outlasts the other is going to face the Yankees in the ALDS. There's a strike.
When a guy comes back from an injury, you're always paying attention to velocity. Nothing wrong with that fastball there, 92 miles an hour. We all know about the big 12-6 power curveball from David Robertson.
And you would think, John, that with the elbow you're watching the curveball because that's what affects the elbow.
Yeah, and also the finish on the fastball, Michael, when you get it out front, you're kind of finishing with your hand. Puts a little stress on that elbow. And, you know, as much as you throw on the side, You throw batting practice. It's different when you get out in a game situation. Dave Island, the pitching coach, looking on, knows there's a little extra adrenaline out on the mound instead of a bullpen mound.
Grounded foul.
Yankees would love to have him on that postseason roster, a guy who can get a lot of swings and misses, be able to come in maybe in a 6th or 7th inning situation if you need a big strikeout in a postseason situation. Need to see a couple of good performances.
And the 1-2.
Couple of curveballs, not his best right there. It looks like he's out in front a little bit, his arm's dragging. Got to slow down the body and let the arm do the work on that curveball.
And there's a strike 3. So Billy Butler down on strikes.
Good fastball right on the outside corner. More importantly, down and away. Nice catch by Cervelli. Good frame. Gives Jerry Lane, the home plate umpire, a look. Maybe that good catch got the benefit of the doubt.
Robertson has now struck out at least one batter in 22 of his last 23 appearances, and Billy Butler cannot believe that strike 3 call. Brian Pena is going to pinch hit for Mike Jacobs. Pitch outside. So Jacobs was 0 for 3 with 3 strikeouts.
Saw Pena early in the year. He's not afraid to go up there swinging either, like all these other Kansas City Royals. Very aggressive, has some power.
A little odd to pinch hit for a lefty batter, or the lefty batter. Probably trying to just keep Jacobs from having a golden sombrero. Unless he's hurt, but he's DH and we didn't hear that he was hurt. And the 2-0. Good fastball by Robertson. Robertson's 92 plays higher, John.
It does, and you know, we're used to seeing him at about 90, and he's a little pumped up tonight. Obviously a long layoff, Brian Bruni getting loose, but you're right, Michael. It's got some extra life through the zone. I mean, Pena's a good fastball hitter and a 2-0 count. David Robertson threw it right by him.
And he throws it right down the middle for the second strike.
The fastball looks good. The only thing you need to see is a good power curveball. He's thrown a couple this inning to the first batter, Billy Butler, that were not his best. You'd like to see a better one in this situation. Looks like he's going to stay with the fastball.
Grounded to third. Tough hop. Alex Rodriguez stays with it. Fires low, but a nice backhanded scoop by Teixeira, saving A-Rod and error.
Friday night, former Giant and NFL MVP Lawrence Taylor sits down for an honest and revealing center stage with Michael Kay. LT dishes on his storied football days, his troubled personal life, and how he's living clean today. It's Center Stage featuring Lawrence Taylor Friday night at 11:30, only on Yes.
A lot of people have commented how much they love that show. And I'm not saying it because of me, because of how honest Lawrence was. Nice scoop there by Mark Teixeira. So watch that show. There's a strike to Callaspo.
Did he talk about Dancing with the Stars at all?
Yeah, not a big fan. Was not really crushed when he was eliminated.
All right, I got to tune in and find out.
He felt it was time to go. It was ruining his golf game. The 0-1. 1-1. Might be the Cy Young Award winner, Zach Greinke. Unfortunately for the Twins, who have to win all their games, he's going to face them this weekend. And he beat them on Sunday as well. Can you imagine having a low 2 ERA in the American League? That's what Greinke has, the 2-1.
No, it's not good news for the American League, but it's good for him. He's had his personal problems off the field. He's always had the stuff, and to see him put it together this year, having a Cy Young type year, it'll be interesting to see how the vote comes down. If CC gets 20, it's a pretty solid case. We'll see.
There's a strike. Aspo thought he had worked a walk for the 3rd time. Robertson has the best strikeout per 9 innings ratio. Zach Greinke, 2.06 ERA. And that leads the major leagues. Imagine an American League pitcher leading the major leagues in ERA. 3-2. Foul back. Anyway, Robertson's strikeout to 9 inning ratio, 13.39. And that's the best ratio among all American League relievers who have at least thrown 40 innings.
That's what makes him so valuable in a postseason situation. A lot of times you're going to need a big strikeout, a guy who can pitch away from contact. That's what David Robertson brings to the table. And now he's proved in the second half before this injury, he can come in and throw the ball over the plate. Kind of graduated to that next level.
Fouled away. A lot of people wonder what Zach Greinke's problems were. Well, he had problems with closed spaces, talking to people, crowds. He's just an ultra football player. That's awful. Battled some depression, and he's overcome all of that. As Aspo works a walk for the 3rd time tonight. And Joe Girardi will quickly signal to the bullpen. You know why? He doesn't want Robertson throwing that many pitches. So he's thrown 19 to get 2 outs and walk the number 5 hitter. So now they just want to see if the elbow's okay when he comes to the ballpark tomorrow. Threw the ball well. Now it's time for Brian Bruni. And Bruni has been pitching outstanding of late. Brian Bruni retired all 5 batters that he faced against the Red Sox on Sunday. 5 outs on just 21 pitches, and he was dominant. He'll face Mark Teahan right here. And he got such a huge ovation walking off the field that he started to cry. So he didn't lift his cap up because he didn't want people seeing he was crying. He has battled through some tough times this year, a couple of DL stints with a bad elbow. But when the crowd gave him that outpouring of affection, it really affected him emotionally. That one is lined in the right field. It's a base hit up the bat of Tia. As Cayaspo will move to second.
Well, bottom line for Brian Bruni, coming off that good performance against the Boston Red Sox, you got to go out there and repeat it. Looked like an off-speed pitch. I don't know if it was a slider or a changeup. Didn't have a whole lot on it up in the zone. That's the only question with Brian Bruni. We saw the 22 walks in over 30 innings. With Joe Girardi and Dave Island, you have to know that he's going to come in throwing the ball over the plate in a big postseason appearance. He's looking to build on that Boston Red Sox outing here tonight.
There's John Buck. He's 0 for 3, has a 8-game hitting streak riding. Swing and miss. There's a strike on the outside corner.
Can't do it any better than that. 96 right on the black on the outside corner. Jerry Lane, the home plate umpire, has been a pitcher's umpire tonight, but that's just a perfect pitch. Ahead in the count 0-2. You don't have to do anything better. Just repeat your delivery. Throw the ball there every time. You're not going to have any problem if you're Brian Bruni.
Strike 3. Buck down looking. And Bruni paints the outside corner to get the final out of the 8th. No runs a hit, no errors, and 2 men left on base. We head to the bottom of the 8th inning. Yankees trailing by 1, 3-2. Yankees, the Yes Network. We go to the bottom of the 8th inning. Yankees trail by 1, 3-2. Mark Teixeira leads off. Count 1-0. Inside, and the count 2-0.
Cruz has kind of changed his game. He used to be a hard-throwing right-hander. He just threw Mark Teixeira a little 2-0 changeup on the outside corner. Doesn't quite throw as hard as he used to.
Line foul.
Again goes off speed with a slider.
Pitch inside.
91 miles an hour with that fastball for Cruz. We're used to seeing him in the mid-90s.
Grounded to short. And Betancourt throws out to Shera. One away. Well, it's 6-5 Detroit over Minnesota, and the tying run is on second base with 2 outs. Fernando Rodney is on the mound. And this is the second game of the day-night doubleheader. Trying to tell you who is at the plate right now. Looks like Denard Span. Now Cruz might be hurt as Hillman and the trainer come out. See if it got the bare hand on the comebacker.
It's another changeup. Yeah, and it looks like it got one of his fingers right off the end. See, he's going to feel a little pain there. Deflected it just enough, but Betancourt able to make the play.
He's trying to say he's okay. But it looks like they'll have him throw a pitch. Hey, after the final out of this game against the Royals, don't miss the WB Mason postgame to get highlights and analysis from this game and the rest of baseball, including the reaction from the clubhouse. It's the WB Mason postgame. It's only on Yes. And a fly ball to left field, so Detroit has beaten Minnesota 6-5. So they split the day-night doubleheader. Minnesota won 3-2 in 10 innings in game 1, and they lose this one 6-5. They're up 5-0 in this game at one point. Now, if you're keeping score at home on this Yankee game, Teixeira's put out a scored 1-6-3 because it got Cruz on the bare hand. And the count 2-0. Alex 1 for 3 so far tonight. He needs 7 RBIs to get to 100, which would be quite a coup after missing all the games he's missed because of the hip surgery. But he's got to finish strong. After this, only 4 games remaining. And they're staying away from Alex.
A lot of off-speed pitches from Cruz, and hitters count. Another 2-0 slider that he missed with. Used to be a guy who was pretty proud of his stuff. Not anymore. It looks like he's going to the finesse game, trying to spot the fastball.
Taking all the way, and Alex walks on 4 pitches. So that puts the tying run on first base for Hideki Matsui. Along with John Flaherty, I'm Michael Kay. You're watching Yankees baseball right here on the Yes Network. We thank you for joining us on this Tuesday evening. It's a 3-2 Yankee deficit, bottom of the 8th. Alex taken out of the game for Jerry Hairston Jr. See if they have Jerry Hairston running. He's got a wrist guard on that left wrist that's been bothering him. He received his second cortisone shot in the last couple of months. And that was just recently. He had to leave the game. I believe it was against the Angels in the middle of an at-bat because his wrist was bothering him. Phil Hughes beginning to throw.
I was watching Jerry Hairston today in batting practice. Looks like he was swinging the bat pretty well. Didn't show any ill effects from the wrist. The Yankees are going to monitor that situation carefully.
So 2-0 count on Matsui, who's hitting .347 in September. Now Bob McClure quickly out to ask Cruz, hey, what's the story here? That's 6 straight pitches out of the zone.
I'm sure he's trying to figure out if that finger is a problem with the deflection off of the Mark Teixeira ground ball. Looks like to me he's pitching away from contact. He got into some situations trying to challenge people, going off-speed pitches, missing by a lot.
Kyle Farnsworth warming up alongside John Bell. Royals lead. 2 unearned runs in the 7th inning. The difference in this game, that broke a 1-1 tie. Yankees came back with Swisher's home run in the bottom of the 7th. And that's where we stand right now, 3-2 bottom of the 8th. The 2-0. Tap back to the mound. Throw to second, there's one. On to first. Not in time, it gets away, but Matsui's going to stay right there as a hustling John Buck backs up at first.
Again, a 2-0 count, which is a hitter's count. Cruz goes with the changeup. Hideki fooled off the end of the bat. A good throw by Cruz to Betancourt. A low throw over to Billy Butler. Like you said, Michael, a nice job by John Buck backing up. But a good throw by Cruz. Hits Betancourt right in the chest, but a low return throw to first base. John Buck backing up. Not a surprise with John Buck being back there.
Now Melky Cabrera will pinch run for Matsui. And here's Nick Swisher at the plate. I would think that's got to be extremely tiring, John. You're behind the plate the entire game, crouching. And on every ground ball, you've got to hustle that back and cover first base. You've got to run with the base run.
You know what, Michael? It's one of those things that it's just instinct after you're doing it so many years. You know, we saw Joe Girardi do it in the Old Timers Day game. It's just instinct. You're so used to doing it. And, you know, when it gets to a point you challenge yourself. You keep hustling during the ball game. Obviously, in a tight game here, it gets a little tougher when it's a blowout one way or the other. But John Buck, I'll tell you what, I've always been a big fan of his behind the plate. The way he runs the staff, got some power. Good guy to have on your ball club.
Oh, 2 count on Swisher. And the 0-2 to Swisher. Swing and miss. And Cruz, a different pitcher than he used to be, gets by on some guile here in the 8th inning. No runs, no hits, no errors. One man left. Let's take this baby to the 9th inning. 3-2 Royals. Yankees have a reconfigured infield. 3-5-1, leading 2-6-1. From third to first, Hairston, Pena, Cano, and Miranda. So completely different than the starting four in the infield. Brian Bruni still on the mound. He'll face 8-9-1 for the Royals, starting with Alex Gordon. And a strike. And there's the new defense.
Brian Bruni not messing around. All fastballs, 96, 97 miles an hour. More importantly, the location is outstanding. Pitch to Gordon right on the corner, down and away.
And the 0-2. 1-2. And Bruni deals. Buzzed him inside, 2-2. Gordon, Anderson, and Meyer here in the ninth, and then see if the Yankees can rally in the bottom of the ninth inning. And the 3-2. It said 3-2 on the board, so I guess that made it 3-2. No, it was a walk. Gordon didn't know it was a walk. So a leadoff walk to Alex Gordon, who's 1 for 3 with a walk. Bruni puts on a base runner, and that'll bring up Josh Anderson. And a bunt straight up in the air. And Hairston lets it drop. He goes to second one, on to first, a heads-up double play. Anderson didn't run when he popped the ball up, and that is a heads-up play by Jerry Hairston Jr.
It's a veteran player just schooled a rookie right there. See, Anderson pops it up. He doesn't run at all. Jerry Hairston dekes him, lets the ball hit the grass, makes the play at second base over to Robinson Cano to complete the double play. But that is just a veteran player who knows the game, and a young kid just got caught making a bad base running mistake.
For some reason, the shortstop was covering there. So it's 5-6-3 as Pena was covered. 5-6-4 as Cano was covering first.
Anderson not running, but Jerry Hairston did a good job of deking him, acting like he was going to catch that ball. Play was right in front of Jerry. Outstanding.
Well, that's tough to go to school like that, and you know that your manager's going to talk to you.
You know what, Michael, you were saying earlier about a lot of the injuries, though, but you talk to people around the Royals who watch them play every day, and they say they do some of these things. You know, they don't play the game the right way, missing cutoffs, situational hitting hasn't been great. The injuries have been a big part of it.
And Mitch Meyer swings and misses. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left on base. We go to the bottom of the ninth inning. Do the Yankees have a rally in their bones? Who wants pie? 3-2 Royals.
Outstanding game against the Yankees. Good changeup, athletic plays off the mound, 6 innings. We gave up a couple of runs, a lot of check swings, a couple of strikeouts. Anthony LaRue, your Chevy player of the game.
A familiar face for Yankee fans, Kyle Farnsworth, will try to close this out for the Kansas City Royals as they hold on to a 3-2 lead. Well, the Yankees would love to get Gardner on. You see Farnsworth's numbers. He has not saved a game this year. And more than a strikeout per inning, that's pretty much his deal. Now, if you get Gardner on, remember Kyle Farnsworth is not quick to the plate at all. Gardner gets on, it's a double. If he can walk, he's going to be in scoring position.
You have Cervelli on deck, so you think about a sacrifice bunt. You wonder if Jorge Posada's available for a pinch hit appearance. But you're right, Michael. Gardner gets on. He should be at second base within a pitch or two.
Royals signed Farnsworth to a big money deal at the end of the year, or the end of last year. A lot of people said, wow. But they wanted hard throwers in their bullpen. That's how they wanted to build their team. The 1-0. There's a strike. Foul back. After the 6th inning this year, Gardner hitting .341. Farnsworth, parts of 3 seasons with the Yankees. In 06, 3-6, 4.36. 07, 2-1, 4.80. Last year, 1-2, 3.65. And he really liked pitching for Joe Girardi. And he was very emotional when the Yankees ended up trading him. I don't think he felt that Joe Torre had trust in him. And, you know, in fairness to Joe Torre, Farnsworth made it very tough to trust in him. Count 2-2. Now the Yankees have a major league leading 49 comeback wins, and they have 14 walk-off wins. So if they're going to win in this game, they are going to have to win in walk-off fashion. 2-2. Strike 3. Gardner down looking.
Kyle Farnsworth was going fastball after fastball. This looks like it might be a hard split. Didn't have a lot of movement down, but the velocity was down a little bit, about 4 or 5 miles an hour, and it freezes Brett Gardner. Maybe a 2-seam fastball. You can tell it had plenty of the plate.
They're letting Cervelli bat. He takes a strike. And the 0-1. Upstairs, 1-1.
Surprised at this. Jorge Posada on the bench, available to pinch hit.
Eric Hinsky is on deck to pinch hit for Pena. That's when Farnsworth is tough. Not only does he have that blistering fastball, but when he gets over the breaking pitch, he's close to unhittable.
Good slider, and what does, it sets up a 1-2 count. If you're a hitter, you got to respect the velocity on the fastball. You can't sit back looking for the slider. It's very vulnerable, 1-2.
99 miles an hour by Farnsworth. He can still throw. His last 7 appearances have been scoreless for Kansas City. Bottom of the 9th inning, Yankees are trailing 3-2. And the 2-2. And the count is full, 3-2. So one fastball 99, that one 94.
A good job by Cervelli laying off, because the fastball away just missed. That sinker just missed. Good eye by Cervelli. Working the count to full.
Tap back to Farnsworth, he boots it. And a base hit for Cervelli.
Farnsworth goes with a 3-2 slider. Again, gives Cervelli credit just to put it in play. Slaps it right back off the middle. Farnsworth had a play, couldn't come up with it. Second baseman Callaspo comes up. He can't come up with it. It looked like a play that Farnsworth should have made. Maybe took a bad hop off at the beginning of the mound. We'll get another look. Right off the dirt, bounces up.
And here is Eric Hinsky. One swing, he could win it. That's a base hit for Cervelli.
Eric Hinsky 1 for 4 in his career against Farnsworth. That one hit was a home run.
As a pinch hitter in his career, 25 for 101, and he has had 2 pinch hit home runs. count 1-1. Butler holds Cervelli at first. Yankees trying for their 50th come-from-behind victory. They're down 3-2. The 1-1. 2-1. Crowd starting to get into it. Many in the crowd of 44,000 plus have made their way home, but many still remain.
Derek Hinsky, you're looking for that four-seam fastball. Farnsworth throwing a lot of two-seamers, diving down and away.
Ground ball and through for a base hit. Cervelli rounds second. He's going to third. A pinch hit single for Hinsky, and the Yankees have the tying run 90 feet away with one out.
Derek Hinsky got a hitter's count, 2-1, and he gets that sinking fastball pretty much middle with a little movement down and away. Just gets out front, hooks it right past Billy Butler. Cervelli gets a good jump. Butler knocked it down a little bit, slowed it down, so Cervelli's going to go all the way to third base. The Yankees in business here in the ninth, first and third, one out.
Now this would be Derek Jeter's spot, but the Yankees changed their infield in the 8th inning, so it's Robinson Cano coming up with a chance to tie the game. Yesterday, Cano came up and broke the game open. The Yankees were leading 4-2. Cano came up with the bases loaded and connected for a grand slam. Cano, great numbers lifetime against the Royals, a .340 average, 3 home runs and 20 runs batted in. And the pitch, upstairs, 1-0. And the 1-0. 2-0. Cervelli is at third. He's the tying run. Hinsky's at first. He's the winning run. And Robinson Cano can get it done at home plate. His first at bat today.
The Yankees doing a good job against Farnsworth. He's not missing by a lot. He's just missing off the plate. Yankees very patient, making him throw the ball over.
Bob McClure, respected pitching coach, heads out to talk with Farnsworth. He did this with Cruz on a 2-0 count. It seemed like he straightened him out. Remember, after the final out of this game against the Royals, don't miss the WB Mason postgame to get highlights and analysis from this game and then the rest of baseball, including the reaction from the clubhouse. It's the WB Mason postgame with Bob Lorenz and Kimberly Jones only on Yes. Cano has 1 career walk-off home run, 5 career walk-off hits. The Yankees 49 come from behind wins and 14 walk-off wins. And the 2-0. Misses outside, 3-0. It is unraveling for Farnsworth. Can he pull it together? It's been this sort of season for Trey Hillman. Many in the crowd standing here at the stadium. And the 3-0. They turned him loose. He hits one deep to center. Going back Anderson. Still back. And he makes the catch. Tagging is Cervelli. He will score. It's a game-tying sac fly for Robinson Cano. And we have a 3-3 game.
Joe Girardi turning Robinson Cano loose, 3-0. And a nice job of disciplined hitting. You don't try to do too much. Don't try to roll over a sinker. Robinson stays middle of the field, and he hits this ball well. Good extension. He knows it's definitely going to be a sac fly. He's hoping for a little more. Anderson cruising back on the warning track is going to be able to make the play up against the wall. But nice disciplined hitting by Robinson Cano.
Here's Johnny Damon. He's 0 for 4. Runner at first. And the pitch is upstairs, 1-0.
Johnny's had one of those nights. He hasn't done a whole lot, 0 for 4, but some weak fly balls and a strikeout. hoping to have one productive at bat tonight in a big spot.
Juan Miranda is on deck for the Yanks. Runner goes. Pitch is high. Throw to second. It goes into center field. Hinsky's going to third. The throw from Anderson is dropped and not in time. Now a base hit will win it for the Yankees.
Eric Hinsky is always one of those guys who lulls you to sleep. He's a big guy at first base. You don't think he's going to be a runner. He's deceivingly fast. He gets a good jump, a high throw from Buck. And the only question now, can Hinsky get to third base on Anderson? The throw hits him. Puts a lot of pressure now on the Royal catcher, John Buck, behind the plate. He's got to make sure he blocks anything in the dirt.
Stolen base in an E2. 1-1 count on Damon. And it looks like they're going to intentionally walk Damon and take their chance with the kid, Juan Miranda. Crowd doesn't like it. They want to see Damon with an opportunity to swing the bat. The count now 3-0. So that passes the baton to Juan Miranda, who had 90 runs batted in at AAA Scranton Wilkes-Barre. So Johnny Damon intentionally walked. His run means nothing. The run at third can win the game for the Yankees. Miranda was 0 for 4 yesterday. Miranda, one career big league RBI. They're not holding Damon on at first. He'll just take second. There he goes. And the pitch is a fastball strike. 0-1. So Damon takes second on defensive indifference. The reason you do that, you take away a force at second base. A ground ball may be knocked down up the middle. And the Royals are playing this one like a World Series game, and why not? These games are their playoff games. Well, the Yankees either win it or we go into extra innings. Yankees are ready to charge and celebrate. The 0-1. Ground ball, knocked down by Farnsworth, goes into foul territory, and the Yankees win! The Yankees win on Miranda's infield single. Scoring is Hinsky, and the year of the walk-off continues. They've done it again. Yankees win 4-3. Their 15th walk-off win and their 50th come from behind victory. Well, John, it happens in different ways all the time. Who could predict that one?
Why not Juan Miranda, though? I mean, we've seen big hits all year. Francisco Cervelli won a game. Why not Miranda? Had a big year at AAA, gets a fastball, lines it right off of Kyle Farnsworth. Eric Hinsky did a nice job stealing second, advanced to third on the throwing error. It's just been the year of the walk-off for the Yankees. Why not? The AAA star in the International League gets a big game-winning RBI base hit.
And then the chase is on as he goes down and mobbed by his teammates. A very special season continues in the most unlikely